What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris Style
And Mo.
Podcast episode 265, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good day, whatever you're doing. You're at home, you're at work. Appreciate y'all tapping into the live stream. You're listening on the playback. We appreciate y'all too. No, we've been gone for a minute, a month. Had to take a little break,
It's been a while, dog. I feel like I ain't gonna lie, bro. I forgot how to even log into this motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Shit.
We might have to knock a little rust, so bear with us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't done
Yeah.
this in a while, but glad to be back to talk sports with my brother and all kinds of other things that we talk about. Um,
Uh,
got a lot to speak on because there's been a lot going on, you know what I'm saying, in
mm,
the sports
mm,
and entertainment world. So we got a lot to speak on today. But before we get into that, Mom, man, how you feeling, man?
Man, I feel great, man. I was super excited, man. Like it's been a long time since we've been back doing our groove, you know what I'm saying? Talking about things, man. So I miss talking to my brother. I miss being, doing this show, man. I think the last thing I did was probably the NBA draft
Yeah.
stuff, man. So and I got a lot of love for that. So I appreciate
Yeah.
everybody, on that, man. So but man, yeah, I'm super excited to, talk about these many topics that we have.
Mhm.
I'm assuming this is gonna be a very long show. But man, how you doing, my brother? Been a while.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, had to take a little break, take a step back, handle
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
some real life situations, you know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
everything's back on track for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And man, back doing the show, man. Ready
Yeah.
to take part. Before we get into the show, uh how was your trip in New York, man?
New York is always a vibe, man. So we initially stopped in Toronto for a couple of days. It was my first opportunity to check out the beautiful city of Toronto. I loved it. I need to go back. I recommend everybody who has not been to Toronto, please do. The shorty that works at the Amsterdam Brew House at the harbor, Izzy, girl, I love you. I wish I would have got your number, but if you do come across this, hit me on the IG, bro. I miss you every day. But overall, man, we loved it, man. We stayed in Yorkville. It's kind of like the more high end, ritzy area. But overall, man, the city was very, very beautiful. Humid as hell. I did not know it got that humid and hot out there. But
Mhm.
overall, man, everybody was super nice, man. Shout out to everybody in Toronto. Very beautiful city. Went to College Town, watched a little bit, watched some World Cup games and stuff down there. Beautiful part of the area. I really felt like I only got like a little percentage in Toronto, but overall it was beautiful. New York, nothing needs to be said. That's one of my favorite cities in the entire world. If I could move out there, I would. The environment was beautiful. The people I was around was very beautiful. The group that we had going on the trip had an amazing time. Was supposed to go out there for the Jay-Z concert, but unfortunately, I was one of the ones that did get locked out of the stadium for a long time. So I decided not to end up staying and waiting the 4 or 5 hours to try to get into said stadium when they finally let people in at midnight. Um,
Mhm.
I ended up going back into the city, but overall, man, from what I heard, man, the concert was amazing. I saw some highlights and stuff like that. So overall, man, I'm ready. I'm itching for another trip. I'm ready to go back and go do some other stuff, and I need to head back out to New York ASAP. So
I need a vacation, period. But you know what I'm saying? One of these days I'll get over to New York. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man,
One day,
yeah, man,
one day,
hey, man, let's go, let's
one
go.
day,
I'm always with it, my boy.
one of these days. Um, Before we start the show, I do want to send my deepest prayers out to Airbnb, his wife.
Yeah,
She unfortunately had a gunshot wound from their son. I don't
mm-hmm.
know all the details of what happened. I know he has been arrested.
Yeah,
And he, of course, Airbnb, Andy Reid spoke today, said he's away from the team handling that. You know what I'm saying? So my prayers go out to the Bienemy family, man. Whatever the situation is, man. Just pray that Mia, his wife, has a smooth recovery, man, and everything's fine, and she gets through it, as fast as she can, or as good as the doctors can work on her. You know what I'm saying? So, but my prayers go out to the Bienemy family for sure.
nah, I definitely second that. I saw the news, man. Pretty sad story.
Mhm.
Um, it sucks. We don't know what's going on in everybody's lives and stuff like that. So definitely send out prayers to Eric Bieniemy. I know this is not the way he wanted to start out his back with the Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
But at the end of the day, he has more important things. Hopefully, his wife is in good spirits. Hopefully, she is recovering well. So I definitely, everybody on the Raiders side for sure, we're definitely sending out our prayers and condolences to the Eric Bieniemy family, and hopefully everything goes well in that situation.
For sure, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk about it, man. NBA news, a lot of stuff went down, man. Let's talk. What you got?
Man, a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff has gone down, man. Obviously, free agency has been kicking off, and it was kicking off pretty damn strong, man. So I'm gonna do some of the big ones, man. Obviously, the Atlanta Hawks, they were pretty busy. They did a multi-team deal with the Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Atlanta Hawks end up getting Lou Dort and Ryan Nembhard. The Dallas Mavericks end up getting a former number 1 overall pick, Zachary Ricochet, and then the Oklahoma City Thunder, they end up getting 3 future second-round picks. Obviously, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're kind of trying to shed some cap. Obviously, with the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander deal, the J-Dub deal, and obviously the Chet deal, all finally starting to get into their influx of salary cap. Obviously, they needed to shed some salary. So that's just one of many instances where they did that. Obviously, my Lakers, they ended up trading DeAndre Ayton to the Washington Wizards, giving the Washington Wizards a true center to pair up with Anthony Davis. He's always been the guy that always wanted to play the power forward position. He was never really too prone and too keen to be in the center position. So he got a center so he can slot back into the power forward position. And my Lakers ended up getting Jaden Hardy, guard, and obviously 2 second-round picks for that trade. We got some more where the Boston Celtics, man, they made the big trade that sent Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George, a 2028 first-round pick, a 2031 first-round pick, a 2028 and 2030 second-round pick for Jaylen Brown. Let me get your thoughts on this, man. What was your initial thoughts when Jaylen Brown got traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul
What
George?
the hell are the Boston Celtics doing? That was my initial thought was, like, well, what are y'all doing? Y'all trading to one of y'all in-conference rivals,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then you trying to get Paul George? Like, respect to Paul George. When he was in his prime, he was one of the best players in the world. But
Mm-hmm.
it comes in spurts with him because of his injury history. And then, the situation that happened last year with the steroid use and all that stuff, that kind of put a blemish on his season last year. But, I'm not saying he can't contribute, but how many games can he contribute? You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't know. I get it. I guess you get the picks, whatever. But, I think they could have got something better for Jaylen Brown, personally. That's just me.
Yeah, honestly, I've been a big proponent that if you're like this, obviously Jaylen Brown has been in multiple trade talks over the last couple of years, and we all know that he has felt a particular type of way with that. And then obviously his name was the big name that came up in the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade. And my whole thing with the Boston Celtics is that I don't know why you allowed Hugo Gonzalez to be the one to stop you from getting Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because let's be honest, if Giannis Antetokounmpo ended up getting traded for Jaylen Brown, this whole Eastern Conference situation will be a lot different. Like, honestly, let's go into it. Actually, obviously we got the news that LeBron James, he ended up deciding not to come back to the Los Angeles Lakers. He ended up deciding, going free agency. We waited damn near almost a month for him to finally make his decision. Long, drawn out, all this other stuff like that. A lot of rumors that went involved, but he ended up signing the last couple of days. He ended up making his choice where he decided to go to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, we all know that the main cause of what he was trying to decide where to go, obviously he wanted to go to the team that gave him the best chance to win said championship. There's a lot of rumors that he could have went to the Golden State Warriors, the Miami Heat, the Denver Nuggets, all that. But at the end of the day, he wanted to find the best path for him to win number 5. And no matter how you feel about that, I got my personal feelings about that. I know a lot of people have their personal feelings about that. I'll get Chris's thoughts here in a second. But this whole situation could look a whole lot different if the Boston Celtics just included Hugo Gonzalez into the trade. You could literally have Giannis Antetokounmpo LeBron James would not be a Philadelphia 76ers right now. I think personally he would probably be a Golden State Warrior, me personally, because if you look at all the options, if you went to the Miami Heat, even with Giannis Antetokounmpo, him being there currently right now, to me that just doesn't fit. Like, LeBron James, he would be said point guard in a sense, but you have a lot of ball dominant guys. Like Giannis Antetokounmpo needs the ball. You don't have no shooters involved around there. Now, if said trade went through and you got Giannis going to the Boston Celtics, LeBron is not going to Boston because he hates Boston. He's been on record saying that would be the last place. Even Rich Paul said Boston would not even be a phase. Obviously, the 76ers would be an afterthought. The Cavaliers would still be in the same position that they're in, and it was clearly stated that LeBron James was a big fan of Darius Garland over James Harden. That was probably one of the main reasons why he wasn't there. And then the Golden State Warriors would probably just be the best fit based on just, the relationships that he has with Stephen Curry, the Draymond Green, and just that whole organization and kind of everything that's been built up for him to kind of go there. I just think things would be a lot different, and Boston Celtics would be in a different position. So I don't know. Overall, man, what were your thoughts with LeBron James choosing the Philadelphia 76ers over the Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves, Miami Heat? What were your thoughts when he made that decision?
I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. And here's why. I'll say first why I don't get it. I think he's an older player. And for him to go play the 4 now, like, that's a lot of wear and tear on your body, sir. Like, you got to be down there with the big boys.
Yeah.
Getting rebounds and things of that nature. Like, I get it. The point power forward is not the atypical power forward that me and Maul grew up on with the, dudes catching rebounds and shooting 17 footers and, putting, doing stuff like that. But you still got to do some of that. Like,
right.
And he's a 40-something-year-old dude playing the 4. Like,
yeah,
that was the part. Like, he's better served to being a 3 right now. You know what I'm saying? He's always been better served to be like the point forward type guy, the small forward who can take the ball up. That's what he was always at his best. So I just felt like, I don't know, with Jaylen Brown, now you got Edgecombe, you got Maxey, like all 3 of those guys are ball dominant type dudes. Like they need the ball in their hands. And so now you add LeBron James to the mix. Like, that's the part I don't get. Now, of course, if anybody, I feel like LeBron can make it work, but he's going to have to put his ego aside. That's what it's all going to come down to with this 76ers team. He's going to have to put his ego aside and be willing to defer to a Jaylen Brown, a Maxey, who Maxey is the best player on the team as we speak right now, because Embiid, he can't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing on top of everything that, my problem with this signing is that you don't know what you're going to get at Embiid. You'd be lucky if you can get Embiid ready for the playoffs, because that should be the main goal. I don't care about the regular season with Embiid. Can you be healthy enough that you can give us some strong minutes for the playoffs? Because we saw last year, he had some games where he looked like Embiid. He was putting up 35. And then there's some games where you could tell the injury had took a toll on his knees. You know what I'm saying? So Embiid's kind of like the cherry on top right now. Like, whatever you can give from him, that's extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to lean on Maxey. You're going to have to lean on Edgecombe to develop in year 2. You're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jaylen Brown's going to have to be Jaylen Brown and can he give you another MVP type season with all of this around him? You know what I'm saying? It's different when you don't have Tatum taking up some of your stuff and now you're the guy. You're on the Sixers team where there's already a guy in Maxey. Is Maxey going to defer to Jaylen Brown? And it all goes back to LeBron. Can LeBron be the veteran and the grown-up in the room to be like, hey, guys, listen, this is how it's going to go. We're going to run the offense through this and da-da-da. And then the head coach, he's going to have to manage all of this, all these personalities and egos with LeBron at the top. Jaylen Brown, he's got his own, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a strong personality. I don't really know Maxey. He seems like he's a kind of a even kill type dude, you know what I'm saying? Edgecombe, he kind of speaks his mind too, like I've seen interviews where he speaks his mind. wants the ball in his hands and things of that nature. So it's going to be interesting. Can it work? Yes. If it does, then they could be the best team coming out of the East, and or at least fight with the Knicks being the best team out of the East. Definitely, they can do that, but it's just I don't know if all these personalities could get managed to come together for at least a season to try to win a championship.
Yeah, man, it's just so many layers to this signing. Number one, I got to give a big shout out to Bob Myers, man. He's done a lot of you could see his imprint on this. And obviously, I'll get to the Warriors situation here in a little bit because obviously Steph Curry made some comments of LeBron James not joining him. But look, man, I think there's so many layers to it. I think you hit a lot of great points. Obviously, you got to think about on paper, does this team look magnificent? It does. You might even say this could probably be the best talented team from top to bottom as far as from youth, impact, just the type of talent that they do have on this team, better than some of these Cavaliers teams, maybe even better than some of the Miami Heat teams for sure. But again, it all comes down to fit. It all comes down, like the number one thing with this team is, and will always be with this team, is Joel Embiid's health. If Joel Embiid is not healthy, they're going to have real problems in the paint. You're going to be a small team that is going to have rebounding issues. LeBron can rebound and stuff like that, but you will be depending a lot on a 42-year-old to try to get this team together. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, Jaylen Brown, I ain't going to lie, I've had many conversations with a lot of people where I personally think Jaylen Brown was the better player than Jason Tatum. I know that it's been a healthy debate, and a lot of people have been on Tatum's side. I personally been on Brown's side, who I think has been more of an impactful player in certain degrees, and especially in the playoffs, where he's shown up in bigger games more consistently than Jason Tatum has, especially in their run when they won a championship and he was NBA Finals MVP. There's a reason behind that. I think Jaylen Brown did get a lot of hate on that team for some reason, why they just didn't they just made Jason Tatum this poster boy where we're just going to want this guy because, we've foreseen him to be the guy that take our team to the next level. Now, Tyrese Maxey was kind of the main focal point and why LeBron James has gotten to this team. Obviously, they are both clutch clients. He has built a great relationship with Tyrese Maxey. You even saw the reaction of him on his IG where he compared himself to Calipari as far as like the recruiting tool, which shout out to him. But when you insert LeBron James, you also insert his fan base. And I see a lot of Philly fans who are super excited with getting LeBron James. And I understand you guys have been in turmoil for years. You guys been in the process for 14, 13 years. And I get it. You guys are burnt out. And then for LeBron James to choose the Philadelphia 76ers when a lot of people did not expect this to happen, I understand the excitement. But I know a lot of Laker fans and our side has been shitting on because the way we received LeBron James when we first got him, and I think it was split. I think number one, the Lakers fan base is a whole lot larger than the Philadelphia Sixers fan base. Number one. Number two, you gotta understand the level. There are levels to this situation. Laker fans, we're used to championships. We got 17 of them things. So everybody wants to bring in this whole situation where the Lakers were when LeBron James came to us, we were down so bad and all this other type of stuff. I get it. We weren't a winning team, but I think a lot of us really enjoyed the younger guys that we saw developed, and we tend to love those guys a lot. The Brandon Ingrams, the Alex Carusos, we had the Lonzo Balls, we had the Ibaka Zubaks, Jordan Clarkson. The list goes on and on. And I said it before. Who knows what the Lakers could have got? We could have been the one that could have got Victor Wembanyama. We could have been the one that got maybe Anthony Edwards and some of these great cast of guys that and who never knows what kind of trade we could have get, because we always will get superstars. So yeah, the reaction to LeBron James is going to be different. You're going to have some people who are like, you're going to have some people who are super excited, but we're not desperate. Philly fans, respectfully, you guys are desperate. And the excitement level, I get it, but you guys got to put things into perspective. This ain't LeBron James at 34. This is LeBron James at 42 years old. And he had a down shooting year with three-pointing. He is getting older. Father Time will always win. Yes, LeBron James has been able to supersede that to a degree, but we have seen him become more injury prone. We have seen him slow down. He is not the defensive player that you guys think he is. He's a true liability, and you guys will see that. There's going to be multiple times where LeBron James is lazy on that defensive side of the court, and he's going to blame other players because he personally missed his defensive assignment. And I saw the clips of Tony Allen. And Tony Allen does have a point. LeBron James is one of those players that does get sought out after, but his biggest defensive plays are chase down blocks. There's just different. Like, I've never seen LeBron James be a top level stealer, you know what I mean? And since, like, you know, he's like deflections, not since his younger days when his athletic ability as his peak. Now, currently at 42, he's just not that. He'll give you stuff in spurts, but it's not going to be the same. Number 3, I agree with you. The fit is going to be very interesting because, yeah, you got Tyrese Maxey, but now the development of VJ Eshcom is going to come into play. Now you're going to sit here and ask him to be a 3-and-D player that has to sit in the corner. And, yeah, LeBron James will help in the aspect of him being able to fast break points and stuff like that. So I could see him getting like another 6 to 10 points based off that. But VJ Eshcom, he can have the ball in his hands. He could do a lot of things. We saw a lot of great things from VJ Eshcom. So now his development is going to have to take a step back because LeBron James is going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Tyrese Maxey is going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Then on top of that, when Embiid does play, you got to feed the beast in the paint. So when he's in the paint, he's going to get a lot of touches too. So what's VJ Eshcom going to do? Then on top of that, you got Jaylen Brown. And I know Jaylen Brown, Jaylen Brown didn't ask to get traded to the Philadelphia Sixers. He just got traded to the Philadelphia 76ers because that was the trade the Boston Celtics liked. So I get in certain aspects that he did play somewhat part of the recruiting with LeBron James, but it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles it because he's been a player that wants his own team. He stated that very clearly. He's stated it many times that how he views his leadership and how he can lead a team, and especially coming off the year that he had with the Boston Celtics and proving that, because a lot of us at the beginning of the season did not have the Boston Celtics being in the position that they had. They were the number 2 seed because of Jaylen Brown, not because of Derek White, not because like they helped, but Jaylen Brown was in MVP conversations. So in his mind, it's like, yeah, I got my money, but I want to lead the team. He's not going to have that capability with LeBron James. There's going to be moments where he's going to be sitting in the corner too. And how he responds to that is going to be also very, very interesting. So, and then thirdly, Philly fans, be prepared for them Bronsexuals. Be prepared, because I'm gonna guarantee you by fucking Christmas Day, y'all gonna be burnt out by them Bron fans who have taken over your fan base. They think they are better than everybody else. The claims that you know the Lakers aren't nothing. The Philly fans, just the inflation of what's going on over there. Y'all gonna appreciate it for a little bit, but I guarantee you, bro, y'all gonna get burnt out by them Bronsexuals very, very quick. So just be mentally prepared for that. Be mentally prepared that, your franchise is going to get blamed for everything. You're going to get the passive aggressive LeBron. You're going to hear all the trade rumors about possibly them trading VJ. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. VJ Eshcom's name is going to get mentioned. Tyrese Maxey ain't going to get mentioned because he's clutch. You're going to hear about Jaylen Brown. You're going to hear about VJ Eshcom, and you're going to hear about Joel Embiid. I guarantee you, because we all know the situation is going to happen. We most likely, this team is going to start out slow. They're going to have moments where they look great. They're going to have moments where it just ain't clicking, because that is the process of every team in this fact. It happened to the Golden State Warriors. It happened to the Miami Heat. It happens to all these big teams. It's going to happen the same thing to the Golden State Warriors, because on 76ers, because especially with, as Chris says, with the injuries with Embiid, the inflection within the rotation, they're not going to get a lot of minutes. You already have problems with practice time in the NBA because of the traveling and the scheduling and all that. The 76ers are going to be in every big game. They're going to be the number 1 team that's going to get a majority of the broadcast. We all know what's going to happen. Just be mentally prepared. When you guys start out slow and it's Christmas Day and you're not at the level that you guys think you are, the LeBron's going to be passive aggressive. Clutch Sports is going to make all the rumors come in. Just be patient. But It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm just waiting for the edge cone for Kyrie Irving trade to go down, and then
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But we'll keep this thing pushing because obviously the Golden State Warriors, they were a big name that was involved with the LeBron James sweepstakes. Draymond Green, he opted out to give them more flexibility. Stephen Curry, all those guys try to make a big push to get him a part of the team. There were even rumors of maybe LeBron and AD being involved to be on the Warriors. Obviously, it did not happen. Steph Curry, he reacted to the whole situation of LeBron James not getting involved. He pretty much stated that this is why you don't kind of vision stuff like this happening without it actually happening. There are also rumors of the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry where their visions are kind of separated in a sense, kind of like that Fast and Furious scene where the roles kind of split apart. And then obviously, Steph Curry wants to win now. The Warriors and Joe Lacob, the owner of the Golden State Warriors, there are reports that he's more focused on building a team after Steph Curry. So my thoughts to you is it time for Steph Curry to ask for a trade from the Golden State Warriors?
Yes. Leave.
Where would you like to see him go? If this
let's blow this up, man. Go to Miami, dog. Go play with Giannis, dog. They need a shooter anyway.
Nah, for real.
They need a shooter anyway. Go to Miami, dog. Go play with Giannis. They ain't saying that the Miami all of a sudden they championship favorite, but I think it would shake some things up in the East. I guarantee you go watch the games now with him and Giannis and Bam.
Yeah,
ain't too bad to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just think it's in the best of interest on both sides. I think the Golden State Warriors clearly know that they're not going to compete in the West anytime soon, even with Steph Curry and Draymond Green. And Steph Curry isn't going to win now. Steph Curry has solidified his legacy with Golden State in that Bay Area. There's nothing he can do wrong. There's nothing he can do wrong where that fan base is not going to appreciate him, where he's not going to get half the block named after him. He might have the arena named after him just because of the impact he has had. He changed the whole perception of the Golden State Warriors franchise. He did that personally. And I think there's so many teams that he can go to. I think if Steph Curry asked for a trade, I think it could be more impactful than LeBron James going to the Philadelphia 76ers. I personally think. Like let's say you put him and he gets traded to the Denver Nuggets. You pair him with Nikola Jokic. That would be fucking insane. Let's say he goes he goes and pairs up with KD again with the Houston Rockets. You trade Amin Thompson. You trade another like Tyree Eason or something. Or Fred VanVleet. You throw him in the trade and you put Stephen Curry in that situation. Whatever the case may, or you trade Alperen Sengun, you keep Amin Thompson. Whatever the case may be, I think that would be interesting. The Giannis Antetokounmpo with Bam Adebayo. Draymond Green's a free agent. Draymond, go to Miami. Draymond, you might have to, get your bread. Steph Curry, do the LeBron James shit, take a little pay cut or whatever. Well, he's currently in his contract, but figure it out. Maybe there's some situation where they can work that out. Obviously, you have the situation where I don't know. Maybe you want to go to Boston. I don't know. There's another one. Maybe you want to go to Boston. I don't know how he feels about Boston. Maybe he feels the same way. You could do that. Hell, let's say the Spurs are like, yo, man, we'll trade you De'Aaron Fox. We'll trade you, a couple other pieces. We got hella assets. Yo, come play with Victor. Come play with Victor. We got Stephen. We got Castle. We got Dylan Harper. Whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like, let's say they were in win now mode. And Dylan Harper, there have been conversations where he wants to be a starter, but they got De'Aaron Fox right there.
He's never gonna be a starter with.
Now, would I personally throw Dylan Harper in a Steph Curry trade? I would have a hard time to do that. I get it. Steph Curry with Victor Wembanyama would be fucking insane, but Dylan Harper has 15 years. Yeah. Steph Curry has maybe 3 years of just elite play, especially just the way he moves. He already has the knee injury problems. Now, if it's like a De'Aaron Fox with maybe a Devin Vassell, you throw in maybe 3 first-round picks or something like that, I would do it. I would do it. You know what I mean? You put Steph Curry. I think Dylan Harper will understand, like, okay, I'll take a step back for Steph Curry. For De'Aaron Fox, I think Dylan Harper's like, bro, I'm better than him. I'm better than him. But with Steph Curry, I'll be like, all right, I respect it. Steph Curry, I think that's something you gotta look at too. Like, if I think there could be so many different ways you can look at it with Steph Curry. You know what I mean? You know, you got the Chicago Bulls situation. You know, obviously you got the Charlotte Hornets. You know, he's from Charlotte. You know, I said you got the Atlanta Hawks who've been looking at, you know, getting a point guard. Obviously, they did draft the homie from Houston, and they still got CJ McCollum. But, you know, Steph Curry out there, you got to take a look. The Orlando Magic, you know, they need more scoring as well. That could be a possible situation. Maybe you throw in Franz Wagner in that, or Apollo Banchero. You know, obviously there's been kind of a little bit of friction over there as far as, like, you know, what's going to happen with that whole situation. I think there's just so many avenues with Steph Curry. I think he needs to go ask for a trade. That's just me. Will he do it? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Mm-hmm. We'll keep it pushing. Let's see. Let me find my stuff. Obviously, we have you know, my Lakers. We'll talk about my Lakers real quick. They ended up trading for Walker Kessler. We ended up getting Walker Kessler. I know we're in talks to get Jonathan Kuminga. Some of the rooks that we had, Cameron Carr looked very, very amazing in Summer League. Adore Thoreau looked really good. A couple other guys within our Summer League have been playing very, very well. So I'm super excited about what we have. I think our team is going to be a lot better than what people assume. I know a lot of people are hating on the Lakers just based on the fact that we don't have LeBron James no more. But I think overall, Rob Pelinka did what he had to do. We got younger. We got more athletic. We got Kareem Grimes. We got Colin Sexton. I think there are a couple other moves. Obviously, I think we're still waiting on the Jonathan Kuminga stuff. You know, you still got Peyton Watson out there. There's still other moves I think we can do, but overall, I'm loving what the Lakers have done. I think you're going to get a motivated Luka. I think you're going to get a motivated Austin Reeves, because there's another factor in this LeBron James thing that a lot of people don't understand, is that when he made his decision and certain aspect of it, you could low-key kind of think he kind of disrespected a lot of people in this aspect. He disrespected the Warriors by pretty much saying, I don't think y'all good enough to win, even with everything that I've known and what you did. I don't think you're good enough. He pretty much stated that with the Lakers, where he wants to win a championship. So he's clearly saying that playing with Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves is not and being coached by JJ Redick is not championship quality for me. I know what winning is. I don't think you guys are winners. I think the situation with Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm not choosing you because I don't think I can win with y'all. I think that's another slight disrespect. Going to the East, you know, running away from the West, like there's just certain aspects of it. So I think the Lakers are going to be highly motivated. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts with my Lakers and some of the moves?
Snow time Lakers, baby. Woo!
Bruh. Man, the White Walkers is here, baby. I need my White Walker t-shirt, bro. I need that.
No, I think it's funny. But hey, Luka's a baller, you know, when healthy. You know what I'm saying? So anytime he's on the team, he's definitely going to raise the floor of any team that he's on. And then Austin Reeves, he's established himself as one of the better scorers in this league. He could put up 30 at any given night. So the only questions with him, and you know, partially Luka, but more so Austin Reeves, is the defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, can those dudes hold it down as far as defensively? And then who's the guy that y'all added from the Utah Jazz? What's his name?
Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler. He's a highly productive center, you know, that was with the Utah Jazz, and now he's on the Lakers. He's going to be on a better team, so he'll be able to showcase his skills. All in all, I think the Lakers will be fine. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, it's going to be yet to see, you know, what you guys can do. You know, this is a new era in Lakers basketball, and this is Luka's team now. So we're going to see if Luka can be that guy to take a team to the championship. Yeah, he did it with Dallas, you know what I'm saying? But he had Kyrie with him. Now he is the official guy with Austin Reeves, and we're going to see if this Laker team can be up there in, you know, a tough conference always in the West. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this real quick. Yo, Walker Kessler, when he was on the court, and I get it, he had the shoulder thing, but I think a lot of that was just Utah just wanted to be terrible, and they just didn't want to play nobody. Walker Kessler's numbers are very similar to Victor Wembanyama's on the defensive side. Let's just remember that. Let's just remember. I'm just saying, when he's healthy, he puts up the same defensive metrics as Victor Wembanyama. So let's be mindful. All right, let's keep it pushing more into the NBA. Obviously, everybody out here in Vegas has been waiting slowly for the NBA expansion. So Adam Silver, when he was out here for Summer League, he made some comments about updates about the possible Vegas team. I'm going to play this clip and then get Chris's thoughts.
It gives me a lot of confidence to see, one, firsthand, the amount of interest in the game in Las Vegas. This began, as I said earlier, around this Summer League and record attendance for that. But to your question, beyond that, in terms of the process that now for potential expansion here, multiple various serious groups are in the process of presenting plans to our bankers, and those plans not only include who the potential owners would be, but their vision for what Las Vegas basketball could look like, where they would play, how they would present the game. And it's music to my ears. I mean, I would just say that, this has become this city, an entertainment hub globally, brings enormous interest to the game of basketball. Something I wouldn't have predicted beyond the NBA. It's become a center of youth basketball in this country right now, not just the major facilities, but the number of courts in town, the trainers, and the level of interest. WNBA, of course, that's had great success here. So I really appreciate what we're seeing so far, and it's very encouraging. I mean, no votes have been taken yet. We've got a ways to go still in terms of those discussions with interested parties, but I'm optimistic about the future here. I would only say, as we began the process, as I think I made very clear, that this was a process we would make decisions by the end of the year, but it could be an ultimate decision not to expand. It could be one, it could be two. I was clear we were only looking at those two markets. And I would just say it's not just unnamed parties in Seattle. There are lots of parties in Las Vegas who've chosen not to be public about their interest.
All right, so that was some comments from Adam Silver. Obviously, there has been situations with where he's clearly stated that it's not a finality that this can go through. He stated that it could be one team, two teams, whatever. But it seems like it's been consensus through a lot of NBA experts who have a lot of knowledge, where it seems like Vegas is getting a lot more of the, I guess, hype, in a sense, that they will get a team as far as like more bidders and stuff like that, more known bidders. Obviously, there are unnamed bidders. But as far as like the investment interest level in Seattle has been a little bit of, I guess, not as aggressive as it is in Vegas. So even Bill Simmons, he's even made some comments where he feels like the NBA has kind of like dangled this idea in front of Supersonics fans who've been angling to try to get this team back. We all know the history of what happened with them losing their team, and it was the wrong thing the NBA did. What's your overall thoughts with what Adam Silver said? And obviously, the possibility that it can only be one expansion team and Seattle may not get an expansion team.
It's unfortunate for the Seattle fans out there. I know they want their team back, but from a business standpoint, I can understand the Sea Avenue where Vegas will probably be the more attractive spot to bring an expansion team to, because it's becoming a sports hub out here, like Adam Silver just stated, man, some of the success out here. You got the Golden Knights, you got the Aces out here, you got the baseball team coming. The Athletics are coming out here pretty soon.
Stadium's going pretty fast too.
Yeah, they're building that stadium up, so this is becoming a sports hub out here. They've already brought WrestleMania out here back-to-back years. people are coming. We got the Final Four coming out here,
College
right?
championship this year. We got Super
Yeah.
Bowl already got
Yes,
announced.
in 2029, we got the Super Bowl. So, and it's already had the Super Bowl here. So, this has become a sports hub, and I can see why, people who are investors want to invest in a place like this because it's thriving, it's raising,
Mm.
it's becoming one of the better sports hubs in the United States and in the world. So, I could see an avenue where they'd be like, well, you know what, this Las Vegas team might be a little bit more, bang for my buck than I
Yeah.
would in Seattle. I don't know in Seattle, and I don't know the politics and all the financial stuff in Seattle, how their stuff is in their state. But I just know out here, and I know we're close to the situation because we live out here, so we're gonna sound biased. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, you got to see the big picture of Vegas is blossoming, it's growing, and it's booming right now when it comes to the sports entertainment type of field right now. So I could see why Adam Silver would be like, yeah, we're gonna roll with one team because this one team is getting way more hype than we are for Seattle. It's not on the even playing field where both teams are getting the same type of hype. Vegas is getting more of the hype. So I could see them rolling with the Vegas team over the Seattle Supersonics.
Nah, like I think at the end of the day, the growth of Las Vegas is growing fast. So I think they take into account that I think we're still not even the levels of comparity of like Los Angeles or Dallas or Houston or New York City or anything like that. We are still a young city, still growing, and then the aspects of just getting local TVs and all that stuff like that, all that stuff is growing as well. So I think they're projecting in the sense of like the growth of Vegas, including establishing this team and seeing the great things that have happened with with the Golden Knights, the Aces, the Raiders. Obviously the Raiders, they aren't like a homegrown team, but you kind of see that they're heading in the right direction. I think finally with them to be able to grow a fan base, to be able to get the supportiveness. Like I think the Raiders already have an established fan base. It's just a matter of fact that we've been terrible and no one wants to pay those exorbitant amount of price tickets to go see that game. So I think that's why you be seeing like it being like majority Cowboys fans or majority Steelers fans or Chiefs fans and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, it's not the same. Like when you're in Oakland, those tickets weren't $500, $600, you know what I mean, for like third level. They were a little bit cheaper. And then obviously not a lot of fans wanted to go visit that Oakland Coliseum. It was probably one of the worst. It was a great atmosphere, but let's be honest, it was probably one of the worst stadiums in all of America. And that's no disrespect.
Stories.
So like let's keep it real with that. So I think when we start seeing the Raiders become more of a relevant team, I think you'll start seeing it turn more black and silver in regular basis games. But overall, man, I think you also got to factor in that I think it's going to be very easy for them to recruit free agency. No state income tax, the living style, the lifestyle that you'll get out here. It will be NBA players love coming to Vegas. So I know a lot of NBA players. I know some coaches that they just love Vegas. NFL players love Vegas. They do. They really do. They love the atmosphere. They love the lifestyle. It's something to do. It's a fun atmosphere. I think recruiting, and then you get to keep more of your money compared to other states like California, New York, stuff like that. I think it'll just be more of like, yo, come here. It's a great lifestyle. Imagine you being the first superstar in Las Vegas, all the endorsement deals that you get. It's an internationally known city. Sky's the limit. So, but I'll say this. I think Seattle does deserve a team. I think that is a beautiful city. It's a great city. It has a great fan base. We see it with Seattle. We saw it with the Supersonics back in the day. We see it with the Seattle Storm. We even see it with their MLS soccer team and stuff like that. The Sounders, like the Washington college football teams and all. That is a great, great city. That is a great sports town. And me being from Vegas, I really hope they get a team too. I really do. They deserve a team just as much as we deserve a team. I think they might even deserve it a little bit more just because of what they went through. So I'm on Seattle side. I hope both of us get teams. That's what I'm rooting for. I think Seattle deserves a team. I think we deserve a team. So hopefully they get all that situated, and hopefully the NBA decides to do that. Last but not least, we'll get into the situation that also impacts the Northwest, and that's the Portland Trail Blazers. I'll play a couple minutes of this clip with Brian Windhorst, where they kind of talk about the whole situation with the Portland Trail Blazers.
Of the Portland Oregonian about the Blazers situation, which is getting worse by the day. We talked about it about a week ago, McMahon, you and I.
Yeah,
it's getting worse by the day. The rhetoric between the politicians and the Blazers organization is deteriorating, and Bill Oram got a hold of what he calls a top Blazers official. Okay. I don't know what that means, but the freedom with which this individual speaks with is with the kind of thrust that leads you to believe it's a very, very high Blazers official. Because
and that it was certainly with the full blessing of Tom Dundon.
It's spoken with a lot of authority. Let's just put it that way. I don't know who this top Blazers official is, but it's spoken with a lot of authority. And there are some incredible quotes attributed to this top Blazers official in this story. I think it's important, there's been a lot of back and forth and machinations that have happened here. And if you're a Blazers fan, maybe you followed them. There's no way that I could completely summarize them here. But I will just say that on Monday, the Blazers Board of Governors, which is essentially, I should say Board of Directors, which is essentially their owners, have a meeting. And I have no idea what's going to come out of that meeting, but it could be the declaration of all-out war. But this is a response to the city sending the Blazers what they wanted in the lease. They want the Blazers to sign a lease to get the money to renovate their arena. And the quotes about this are tremendous. Let me get them, and I want to get them exactly correct. Sorry, Jackson, you may have to cut some of this out. Okay, here we go. Quote, "Why is the city sending this thing knowing we're not going to agree to it?" said the official, who expressed particular antipathy toward the unionized workforce and annual payment provisions. When in there, they want there to be unionized workforce, and they want the Blazers to make annual $3 million payments.
What does antipathy mean?
They don't like it. He expressed the opposite of support for the idea that they would have to use unionized labor.
Good word. He went to Montana.
Further quote, "The city of Portland doesn't even recognize they got a sweetheart deal. And they're making it complicated. And if they want to say no, if they don't want us, then that's fine."
Well, there you go. I mean, and then what else have the Blazers? What else has Blazers ownership done this week?
Well, they fired their
wiped clean of the TV group, right? I mean,
pretty much.
I'm not done with the quotes. I'm not done with the quotes. We can talk about that in a second.
All right.
Quote, "It's not like we lose money moving the team," the team official said. "We might spend money, but we won't lose money. It might be okay to spend $1 billion on a relocation fee if the value of the team doubles. Of course you would do that." This is like,
well, that was some of the comments that was made. Obviously, they kind of hinted at that they got rid of their local TV broadcasting, play-by-play announcers and stuff like that. We've also seen a lot of stuff with Tom Dundon. Tom Dundon is the new owner of the Trailblazers. We've heard a lot of things of him cutting back money, sending players on team flights, cutting back hotel stays and all that stuff like that. Obviously, with that whole situation with the Trailblazers and kind of like just the heat that's going on surrounding that team, with them potentially moving out because they want a new stadium, new renovations to the stadium, whatever the case may be. What are your thoughts with the potential of Portland losing the Trailblazers? And second question is, if that does happen, could they be the potential team that can slide into that Seattle region, which is not too far from Portland? So they'll still be able to keep that fan base if they don't like the prospects of said bidders for that Seattle expansion, Seattle franchise.
It's a mess. It is a mess. I get, and I kind of get both sides. I get that the owner, he wants he wants a new stadium or a new arena, and I'm sure the city of Portland probably don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes out of tax dollars. So they probably like, nah, man, we ain't trying to raise no taxes to try to pay for your arena. You could do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I get both sides. As far as them moving to Seattle, I don't know. That would be kind of weird. Portland going to Seattle.
Yeah.
And becoming the Supersonics. It was just, the kid in me would be like, that's weird. That's kind of weird. If you're Portland, I don't know if you want to do that. I think Portland probably wants to go to a brand new, fresh city. I know a lot of people have been talking about like a Nashville or something like that.
That's kind of tough though, because you got Memphis who can block that idea though, because each team gets a certain radius on what they can protect. You know what I mean?
I know a city who's been dying.
There is Kansas City. Obviously, you guys have a lot of things going on as far as like multiple stadiums with the Kansas City Royals and the Chiefs situation. So I don't know how that would fit in with everything that's
we got an arena. We got a team. They built a whole basketball arena hoping that they was going to get a basketball team.
Oh, how old is the stadium though? How old is the arena?
The arena is not that old. The T-Mobile arena is not that old.
It could be a possibility. Like he is I believe the owner is from Texas. He is the owner of the Carolina Hurricane. So he's had some, he's not the most likable owner. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, at least from what I've seen, I think the way he has kind of, cut jobs, the cheapness of what he's been about. It's just, maybe you can get away with that in hockey, but in basketball, it just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work like that. And it kind of sucks because like the Trailblazers just came off this high. Like they made the playoffs. They gave the Spurs a decent series. Obviously, we all knew that the Spurs were going to win that, but from what they came about to what we expected that team to be to what they got to was amazing. You ended up getting Damian Lillard back. You had a really great young head coach in Tiago Splitter, but then you decided to be cheap with him to end up signing another head coach for a 1-year deal, which is like kind of a slap in the face, because it's like, if you're a player and you have a head coach that signed a 1-year deal and this is your first opportunity to get a job, I don't understand why the desperateness level of that said head coach was to take that job. I get it. It's an opportunity to be a head coach, but there's not really no sustainability for you to be able to put your footprint into that program to be able to establish what your identity is. I think you need more than just a year to establish your identity, especially it being your first job. You're going to have your bumps in the road. You're going to have to learn. And for you not to have that sustainability of having a 3 to 4 year deal, it's just kind of mind blowing to me. I don't know. I get it. I understand the whole aspect of how weird it would be for Portland to go to Seattle, but they are a Northwest team, and I guess I could kind of see the fit. Now, would they change their name to the Supersonics? I think you kind of have to. Any team that goes to Seattle, it has to be the Supersonics. It can't be the Seattle Trailblazers. It just sounds freaking weird. Now, could that be a situation? Maybe, because then Portland, that owner would literally have the whole entire Northwest, and I think Seattle just getting a team would just be super excited to just have a fucking team. So I don't know. It'll be weird to see, but hopefully, I personally hope that. I think the Portland Trailblazers fan base is amazing. I know that city has gone through a lot ever since COVID. I used to hear mad stories before COVID and how beautiful that city was and how vibrant that city was. A lot of people love visiting that city. So, some of the stories that we hear now about the city of Portland, like obviously I've never been to Portland, but just for certain people that have been established in that city, that it has seen its rough times over the last couple of years. Stores have been closing down and all that. That you can only imagine the impact that if they were to take that team out of that city would have on that city. I think it'll be too detrimental for that city. It really would. Yeah. And from what I heard, it's a very beautiful city. I know it has its problems, but I think the NBA needs to step in. They need, which Adam Silver has stated, and get this resolved. Portland the Trailblazers need to stay in Portland. They really do. And you can figure out other teams, Kansas City, Nashville, Seattle, Vegas. You can figure all that stuff out. But I think they need to focus on this and get this squared away quick.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And that's it. That's it for NBA news for today.
For sure. All right, man. So we wanted to try some new stuff, man. You know, we bringing the show back. Being off, had a little bit of time to get in the lab. You know, NFL season is starting back up, so we always want to break down each division going into the year. But me and Maul wanted to try something different. You know, everybody does the storylines, and everybody does how you feel about this division, blah blah blah, and break it down. But we're gonna do something different, where we're gonna have inserts of different segments throughout the show. This week or today's show, we're doing the NFC East. And the first topic segment is called Temperature Check, where we get our check on the whole division of the NFC East as a whole. I'm going to pull this up. So this is the temperature check right here. Overall division strength, 1 through 10. The best QB, the best coach, and the toughest place, which stadium is the toughest to play in this division. So we're going to start with you, Maul. What is your overall division strength for the NFC East?
My overall strength for the division, I'm gonna give it a 6, just based on there are certain aspects with each team where you could have a little bit of question marks. I think with the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders, they do have some talent, but you have injury concerns. You know what I mean? You have some coaches that could be in the hot seat. Obviously, not Harbaugh. He just got there, but there is going to be pressure on him, especially with what he comes with, and the expectations a lot of Giants fans have with him being there currently right now. The Philadelphia Eagles, they have a lot of stuff going on. They got you got a head coach that can just go AWOL at any moment. You got a lot of distractions. You got whether Jalen Hurts is your future or not. Devontae Smith, him getting number one potential starting role for that. And then Dallas Cowboys, I think they're ultra talented, but at the same time, it's like the Dallas Cowboys, you just never know. You never know. They're more talented, and then sometimes they don't live up to the said talent. Right. But I'm going to give it a 6, but it can go higher. Obviously, I think it has the potential to be one of the better divisions. But for right now, currently, with some of the question marks, I'm going to go 6.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I went 6.5. I'm with you. All these teams have questions. With the Giants, John Harbaugh, has the game passed him by? Was this a little bit of a preview of that last year with the Ravens? There's always been questions about his conservativeness, and when the game is on the line, especially in the playoffs, some of his decision making. Will that carry over with the Giants? You got Jackson Dart. Is going to be his first full season starting. Can he stay healthy? Cam Scatterbull, can he stay healthy with the Malik Neighbors? They said he's a full go, but we'll see how that goes. They got questions behind him. Who's the wide receiver 2, 3? Is it going to be Odell Beckham? You know what I'm saying? So they got some questions, and they got questions on that defensive side, the secondary too. But then you got, the Commanders. Can Jaden Daniels stay healthy? You know what I'm saying? And even before the injury, we saw a little bit of, teams, showing that, hey, man, in your second year, we kind of figure you out, and you got to learn how to fight through that. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? And with the Commanders, also Dan Quinn. Could this be Dan Quinn's last year if they don't get over the hump? So Eagles, we all know. I feel like they win in spite of Nick Sirianni. They're on their 20th OC since Jalen Hurts has been there. So we'll see how that works out. Can Saquon Barkley get back into rare form? How's this receiving core? I love Mekhi Lemon, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Mekhi Lemon, Devontae Smith is now the man. He's the number one guy. How's that going to work out? This defense is always going to be good with Vic Fangio there, but, we'll see. We'll see. And then with the Dallas Cowboys, like you said, anything can go wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. They could look great on paper, but, is George Pickens going to flash out and have a meltdown on the sideline? Is, CeeDee Lamb or, Is Dak Prescott gonna, throw a bad pick in a big spot? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to see with this team. You know what I'm saying? Is Brian Schottenheimer, can he duplicate? Even though they didn't go to the playoffs, nobody was expecting the Dallas Cowboys to look anything good. I give Brian Schottenheimer this. The offense looked good. I'll say that part. So we'll see if he could take it to the next level. So I'm with you. I went with a 6.5. All right, man. Who you feel is the best quarterback in this division?
I think I'm gonna surprise a lot of people in this one, man. I'm gonna go with Dak Prescott. I'm gonna go with Dak, man. I just think in the aspect, most time I would probably pick Jaden Daniels, but I just got to see the health aspect with him, and then obviously, can he consistently did what he did in his first year? I got to see it again as well. I know Chris has been a big proponent on that. That first year looked great, but I need to see it again another year. Then, I was on the side of I trust him, but then the injury things happen. So I'm gonna take a little step back with Jaden. I still think I still think he potentially is the best quarterback, but just from ability, just consistency, I'm gonna go with Dak Prescott. I know Dak Prescott has his ups and downs, you know what I mean? But I think overall, we all know he's gonna put up those numbers. We all know this offense is gonna be amazing. I don't trust Jalen Hurts. I know he is the Super Bowl winning championship quarterback in this division, and he should get a lot more respect, but I don't trust the whole offensive coordinator situation. This is first time calling plays. You don't have AJ Brown. Mekhi Lemon, we all are big fans of Mekhi Lemon, but again, he is a rookie. I don't know how much you can expect him to be. Devontae Smith, being finally getting his number 1 overall role. We got to see how that goes. Saquon Barkley, he's getting older. He didn't look as explosive as he did last year. It's just gonna be interesting. And then obviously, I just don't trust Jackson Dart. I know he has his good years, but it's just a lot of things with that team that you got to put a little pause on. So I'm gonna go with Dak Prescott.
I ain't gonna lie to you. This was a tough one, man.
It's tough. Because
Jaden Daniels is probably the most talented one. Dak Prescott has probably the more stats. He's gonna put the bigger numbers up.
He's more consistent. Yeah, he's more consistent. Yeah.
Jackson Dart, he's a we ain't gonna put that. I'm gonna surprise some people, and I know there's a lot of questions behind him, but I feel like dude shows up in the biggest moments. I know that last year wasn't a great season.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts because I just feel like when the chips are against him, he just shows up more than that. That's the questions about that. I think Jaden Daniels can be that. I do. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if next year we're doing this. We're gonna say Jaden Daniels. Probably.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with the past few years. The Eagles have been on top of this division, and I'm gonna roll with Jalen Hurts just for that. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to be funny because some of my other answers, it's one of the other segments we got. But I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts as the best quarterback right now. But I understand Dak. He puts the numbers up. I can understand Jaden Daniels because of that rookie season. But once again, we saw with CJ Stroud, bro. Rookie seasons be looking good, and then they don't be looking after that. We're going to see. So
I think we can. I agree. I think consistently we will say. I think we like Jaden Daniels the most. We just got to see it again. That's it. Yeah.
This another one. Best coach in this division.
Best coach. Look, statistically, you would probably have to say Nick Sirianni just with what he's been doing. But I'm gonna go with John Harbaugh. I'm gonna go with John Harbaugh as the best head coach because I just think he's the more mature one. Yeah. Dan Quinn, I just don't know. He's in the hot seat, man. He could potentially he could be one of them coaches that could get fired. Yeah. The Dallas, what is Brian Schottenheimer? Brian Schottenheimer. I don't know, man. He could be. I gotta. He's one of those guys. I just gotta see the consistency of it. I don't know, man. I know he had his first stint. It didn't really go that well. That last year he looked really good for what they were able to do. But I don't know. I'm just gonna go with John Harbaugh because I get it. In Baltimore, he had that instance where he was probably gonna get fired before Lamar Jackson showed up, and then Lamar Jackson showed up, by the grace of God, and he was able to stay there a lot longer than a lot of people anticipated. So even John Harbaugh has his questions, especially with big games. He's been labeled as kind of he gets a little scary at times when it comes to the big games, and he plays a lot of things close to the chest, and he doesn't get aggressive. So he has a lot of question marks on him, but I just think by default, I think you got to go with John Harbaugh because he's going to be the adult in the room compared to Nick Sirianni. And I just don't trust Nick Sirianni because at the end of the day, he could go AWOL at any time.
No, I agree with you. I'm going with John Harbaugh. I'm with you. Yes. Has he had the success as Nick Sirianni the last few years? No, he hasn't. Mm-hmm. But I always say they win in spite of him, dog. I just feel like they win in spite of Nick Sirianni. He doesn't call plays. Now, I know John doesn't either, but he knows how to. I feel like John knows how to keep continuity with the team. You don't hear a lot of noise. You hear some noise with Lamar, but that was like a terrible season when you started hearing that. Like when they were winning, you didn't hear, Zay Flowers standing on the sideline reading books and this player arguing with that player and all that. You're not gonna hear that with a John Harbaugh team. So I'm gonna roll with John Harbaugh in this, and I think all purposes, he's probably the safest one coach out of this because I can see Avenue if the Eagles don't have a great season, they say goodbye to Nick Sirianni. You know what I'm saying? So, don't be surprised if they give your boy Tomlin that phone call like, "Hey, you want to come back to coach, man?"
Nah, yeah, for real, for real.
So, and then Dan Quinn, do I think he's a good defensive mind?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's a good head coach. I know he led Atlanta to that Super Bowl, but ever since that Super Bowl, they kind of let a bad taste in it. You know what I'm saying? So
for real.
We'll see. We'll see. If I know Jaden Daniels was hurt last year, so we will see. But still, I think it is John Harbaugh for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the toughest place to play in this division.
Dallas is a no. Dallas is a no. Sorry. Washington, it's a no. Sorry, guys. Like no offense to y'all, it's a no. The Giants, look, if you're gonna add the turf with the knee injuries, that could be tough. Tough on the players. Yeah, that's tough. But overall, I think the easiest answer is it's Philly, man. I don't think it's even close. I think Philly, just with the fan base and we seen it before, man. We see the intensity it is playing with Philly, especially when they're a great team. I think it's Philly.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's Philly. It's Lincoln Financial. Their fan base is known to be one of the more rabid fan bases. They'll beat you up. Yeah. They'll stomp you out. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. So,
for sure.
But no, it's definitely one of the toughest places to play. For sure. So, all right, man. That was pretty good. I like that.
No, yeah.
All right, man. Damn. It's the end of an era, Mal.
Yeah.
Errol Spence Jr., dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had a fight on Saturday against Tszyu. Well, it was Sunday for him because he was in Australia. But he had a fight against Tszyu. And, me and you were anticipating this fight because we wanted to see the return of Errol Spence. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little concerned with the whole weight thing. They fighting at a catch weight, 158, and they decided 160. And it was just like, yeah, it's interesting. I wonder why they couldn't get down to the 154 weight limit that they, both I thought they were fighting at. But all in all, they decided to fight at 160. And look, man, I watched the whole fight, and it just looked like somebody who was a shell of himself. He wasn't the same Errol Spence Jr. His reaction time was off. Like Tszyu was just catching him with right hands, and just it wasn't even like Tszyu was trying to set it up. He was just throwing it. And then it was just Errol seemed like he was off balance. It just seemed like he was throwing wild punches. He was moving around a lot. I've never known Errol Spence to move the way he moves. He's usually the one walking somebody down, being that dominating force. There was a point in the fight where Tszyu was just walking Errol Spence down, and Errol just seemed like he was just trying to survive in that fight. Now, he didn't get knocked down at no time, but he was getting catch with a lot of shots. And just as the fight went on, it just seemed like it got worse and worse and worse. And it just, by the 12th round, it was just like, yeah, it's over. It's like, it's done. I'm praying that he retires after this fight because he just looks like, he didn't have that thing that Errol Spence was known for, that to be that Hall of Famer that he is going to be. And this is no way, shape, me trying to take away from Errol Spence Jr. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's one of the greater fighters, and that was able to bless us with his skills. At one time, he dominated the 147 division. He was the cream of the crop. Outside of Terrence Crawford, he was the cream of the crop. That's why we wanted to see that fight so badly. So he beat some of the better 147 champions and contenders in that division. So there's no way of me taking away from Errol Spence Jr. But it was just, I hated to see it, you know what I'm saying, to see him go out kind of like that. Like you said, we talked off camera about, him going out on his shield, but still it was a tough watch. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was.
Yeah, man. Like, look, man, we had a lot of high hopes. We were rooting for Errol, you know what I mean? I posted something on my IG and shout out to my boy Mook. He hit me up. He's like, nah, man, it's over for him. Like, you know what I mean? Even before the fight, he's like, it's over. That crash took a lot out of him and stuff like that. And I'm like, I know everybody wants to go back to the car crash and stuff like that, but people got to remember when he came back and he fought before the Terrence Crawford fight, no one had that same energy when he was going into the Terrence Crawford fight. No one said that crash took anything out of him. I think it's the combination of everything. I think if anything, it was more so, I think that Terrence Crawford fight and him taking the 3-some years off of him deciding what he wanted to do. And I think it was a moment where he was like, you know what? I think he thought about it. I think he sat back. I think he was like, you know what? I can't go out the way I went out with Terrence Crawford. I think that ate at him a little bit, more than I think people want to attribute that to. Mm-hmm. And I think he was like, you know what? Let me do it. Let me try it. I still think he was in a place of uncertainty whether he wanted to come back, but I think that kind of tipped him over of just I know I'm better than this. I think the competitive aspect of Errol Spence, because I think he's a competitive guy, and then he just didn't want to go out like that. So I think he just wanted to see. Could it be a situation where you had this foot in, foot out situation going into this fight because you did bring up the catch weight and they couldn't get down to 154? That could be a possibility. I think you kind of saw it a little bit in the fight. The initial, no balance. The punches that he threw weren't really doing any damage on Tszyu. And it just kind of looked like a fighter that was just like, you know what? After that first round, I got hit. I just need to survive. I just need to survive and get home to my family. I know at the moment, you can even kind of see him sitting down before the fight and him just kind of looking as he was getting ready to walk out. And I think he was just kind of doing self-reflection on, maybe he was kind of thinking man, did I make the right decision coming back? You know what I mean? Just kind of had a look in his face, So at the end of the day, man, I'm just happy he didn't get knocked out or anything like that. He was able to walk out on his own power, finish the 12 rounds. Obviously, the fight wasn't really close at all. But at the end of the day, Errol Spence, I agree with you. He's a Hall of Famer. And I think people should admire him for at least trying. But as he said, he has all his faculties. He has his money. He has his family. He can go home. I'm sure he has other endeavors. Maybe he can get into maybe coaching or some aspects of boxing, maybe nurture some younger guys and, maybe try to help Charlo. And that's because that situation is just annoying. That was probably another disappointment in this whole card is that you had the whole situation with Charlo. You had the whole situation with Fulton. The Fulton thing was embarrassing. Fulton needs to.
Yeah, I don't blame Charlo because that's his people got to handle.
I get it, but it's come on, man. All this shit should have been worked out. You knew what was going on. Get it worked out. It's just may not have been all his fault, but it's just always something with Charlo. It's just always something. It just gets tiresome. But Fulton, that was embarrassing. Bro.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're doing.
He should retire. Let it go.
That was embarrassing. Yeah, that was embarrassing. So kind of the whole card just kind of felt like blah, just because you didn't have those fights and the anticipation of seeing those guys. And then just with this fight alone, it just kind of added to the whole card where it's just kind of it just wasn't really a good view. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. And but end of the day, we salute Errol Spence. We salute to your career. And then everybody trying to, for some reason, shit on Terrence Crawford. I don't understand that. I just think that's weird as well. I just think that's super weird. Just get over that whole situation. Yeah, let both of these men retire in peace.
My problem with the whole Errol Spence Crawford talk is they always try to make the excuse, oh, it's car accident. No,
Yeah.
like, bro, after his car accident, he fought Danny Garcia and Ugas and beat them both.
And no one said anything going into even the bettors had that going and being a split decision. I think some of them even had Errol Spence slightly favored in that fight.
Yeah, they did. So
what are we talking about?
But shout out to him. He fought Kell Brooks at his height. I know a lot of people don't realize how good Kell Brooks was. Kell Brooks was the only fighter I saw make Sean Porter look regular. We all know Sean Porter made Errol Spence. He gave him troubles. And if it wasn't for that knockdown, Errol Spence might have lost that fight. And then Terrence Crawford, in the round that he knocked him down and ultimately got the towel thrown in, he was losing. He was down on the cards because that's the type of fighter Sean Porter is. He just physical, makes stuff hard to hit. Like, he was just that type of fighter. So he beat Mikey Garcia. I know a lot of people don't know. Mike Garcia was one of the top dudes at that time. So, and he made him look regular for 12 rounds straight. Mike Garcia couldn't do nothing. So, Danny, I mentioned Danny Ugas beat Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? I know it was in the back end of his career, but he beat Ugas. So I just think that we got to put some respect on Errol Spence's name. He dominated at 147. Keith Thurman was ducking that dude for years. Running from Errol Spence. He ain't want no parts of Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want no parts of Terrence Crawford either. So
nope.
He fought the best and he beat the best outside of Terrence Crawford. It just lets you know how great Terrence Crawford is.
Yeah, you know he made Errol Spence look ordinary and he made Canelo look ordinary. Those are some of the two of the greatest fighters that we've seen. So come on, man, put respect on both of these guys, man. They're both Hall of Famers. They're both champions. They're both legends in their respective eras, man. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah, shout out to Errol Spence, man, and you'll definitely be getting the Hall of Fame one day for sure.
For sure.
So hopefully, like I said, whatever your next endeavors is, you're highly successful. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I'm glad he was in great spirits after the fight too. So
yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's go into a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement, whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
Shout out to Magnet Sports Drink. All right, man. Let's continue our NFC East. We're going to do what we call Team Files. We break down each team. We're going to talk about the biggest strength, the biggest weaknesses, one must prove player, their ceiling, and their flooring. So we'll start with the biggest strength for each team. I'll go first on this one.
For sure.
So for the Cowboys, I think their biggest strength is their wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, two of one of the best tandems in the NFL right now. We saw what they did when they're on the field together, when they're healthy. They're one of the best tandems when it comes. They're up there with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase when it comes to that dynamic duel in this league. So I think that's their biggest strength. The Eagles, I'm gonna go with their front seven. I just think that we know how Howie Roseman, he knows how to draft defensive linemen and linebackers. So their front seven is crucial for them. They keep them in games. That defensive line, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. They got a nice little defensive line, and their linebackers are really good too. The Washington Commanders, I went with their linebackers. They signed Leo Chenal in the offseason. You drafted Sonny Styles, who we all think could possibly be a Fred Warner type. And then they got, what's his name, Frankie Luva.
Yeah.
He's actually a really good linebacker, too. I think their linebackers are the strength of their team. And then the New York Giants, I went with their defensive line. Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Arvell Reese. Their defensive line is one of the best defensive lines in the league. And I think that's the strength of their team. So,
yeah, I'll start out with the strength with the Cowboys. I'm gonna go with their offensive firepower. I just think offensively as a total team, I think they're going to be amazing. I agree with you. The wide receiving core is amazing, but I think their tight end, running back, Dak Prescott. I think overall offensive firepower wise, I think they're amazing. Giants, I agree with you. I went with their linebacking core and their front. I just think they're going to be really good. Even with some of the trades that they did, getting off certain guys, I think they're still going to be really good with Arvell Reese and all that. With the Eagles, it's like a two-parter. I went with their defense and their experience. I think those can be the plus sides for now. I think their defense could be probably the best defense in this division. Honestly, they're still really, really good. Going off with that experience as well. They've been in a lot of big games and stuff like that. So, and then the strength for the Commanders, it was kind of a two-parter for me because the first part is Jaden Daniels per health is their biggest strength. It really is, but it's per his health. But I also like their first two levels of their defense and what they've added to that defensive side. Obviously, I think there's still a little bit of question marks on that back end as far as like the cornerbacks, but the first two levels of that defense could be really good. So I think it's a two-parter for me with their strength, but that's what I got with the Commanders.
For sure. Biggest weakness. So Cowboys, I got their secondary. Even though they drafted Caleb Downs, I just feel like there's corners. I'm not the biggest Deron Bland fan. I just think that he's he gets the big play, but you can also get a big play off on Deron Bland.
Yeah.
And I couldn't name you the second corner on the Cowboys now that Travion Diggs is gone. So
yeah.
The Eagles, they had issues with their second corner last year. It was like a revolving door. We know, Quinyon Mitchell is one of the best corners in the league, number one corner. Cooper DeJean is one of the best nickel corners. But they had problems with that other guy on the outside. Now, I know they signed Reek Woolen, so he should be an upgrade, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? So I think right now that has to be looked at as a weakness. Commander, same thing. They're secondary. Lattimore was getting smoked last year, like barbecue. So I think they made some moves in the offseason with their corner situation and the draft, but we still got to see it. So
yeah.
And then with the Giants, it's wide receiver too for me. Like, who's going to be the second guy after Malik Neighbors? Because I think teams started, understanding we take Malik Neighbors away and who's going to step up. So I got to see, is it going to be Odell Beckham? Does he have a resurgence as a number 2 wide receiver? I know they signed Juju. He's not a number 2 right now. He's probably a number 4 at best. But we'll see. But that I feel like those are the weaknesses of each team.
Yeah. I'll start out with the Cowboys for weakness. I went with the head coach. I just don't know. I think talent-wise, this Dallas Cowboys team from top to bottom is really good. I love the additions that they did, especially with what they were able to get from the Michael Parsons trade and what they were able to do with those set pieces from the Michael Parsons trade. I loved everything that they did. It's just the head coach. I don't know if I could trust him. That's it. With the Giants, maturity. This team is displayed all offseason how immature this team can really be. You got your star running back coming off of a broken ankle who's doing fucking cartwheels and backflips every chance he get. He busts his ass during the Fanatics Fest. It's just maturity. You got Malik Neighbors who's playing a softball game off a bad injury. We don't even know if he's even going to be capable of even starting the year out. And then you got Jackson Dart with the whole Trump situation where it's like, you can vibe who you want to vibe to. It's your right and all that, but you have to understand you are the head quarterback of said team who has a lot to prove. And your biggest thing this offseason was you supporting Trump has been a big distraction. Like, it's always something about maturity with this team. Now, obviously, they do have other weaknesses as well, but I think with this team, maturity has to be the biggest thing that John Harbaugh needs to impact. Be a professional. Know what it is to be a professional. You have responsibilities as a professional. Learn how to do that. With the Eagles, this is another two-parter for me. It's team focus and distractions. You know what I mean? I agree with you. There are certain aspects as far as within that secondary with some of the injuries and stuff like that have been issues. But it's always something with this team that's outside of football that always derails this team from being who we think they are, whether it's A.J. Brown, whether it's the relationship between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts and the head coach and stuff like that. They need to get that in line because if they're always going to have distractions with this team, they're always going to have issues no matter what kind of talent that they have. And with the Commanders, I agree with you. I think that secondary is always going to be a big question what they have. But I think it's also this wide receiving core. We have been expecting that Brandon Ayuk was going to be on this team, but Brandon Ayuk cannot shut the fuck up. Respectfully, excuse my language. This man has done everything on his IG besides being on a team. And I don't understand what the 49ers are doing with that situation. I don't understand what Brandon Ayuk's situation. And then obviously the whole discourse between Brandon Ayuk and Jaden Daniels has been kind of weird as well too. So that wide receiving core thing is also like, I love Terry McLaurin, but they do need a number 2 on that wide receiving core, and they need to figure that out quick. They should have just kept Debo Samuel
or sign Stephon Diggs, whatever.
Something they need to figure that out. So.
All right, one must prove player. I started off the Cowboys. I got Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to show and prove player. Like, yeah, first of all, get to playoffs, and then in the playoffs, at least win a playoff game. Mm-hmm. Like, it's time, play. We can't, everybody want to put you in these top 10 rankings, and I'm not saying that they're wrong because you are a top 10 talent, but you gotta start showing improving in the playoffs, bro. Like, this team is gonna go as far as you can take them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna add so many additions to the wide receiver rooms. They did a good job of adding to that defensive line. Even after Micah Parsons, you get Quentin Williams in that trade. Then you get Rashawn Gary to come over, which I think he's a solid defensive end to come off the edge. They added some defensive ends in the draft, even this draft. So, like, it's time to show improve, player. You got Caleb Downs now. So, like, you got your free safety guy who can kind of change the trajectory of that secondary. Like, it's all on that. So, he's going to have to be the one to prove. Once again, quarterback, Jalen Hurts, Eagles. I know he's the best quarterback, but he's still, if he has a bad season, he might not even be the quarterback of the Eagles next year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy. But it's a reality. Like, this fan base is ready to turn. They've turned on AJ for him, but now that AJ's gone, if he has another season where he can't get the ball to the wide receivers and he's not, playing within the offense, the team that the fan base gonna turn on him, and he might be out.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, we got to see it. The rookie season was amazing, dog. But last year, I give you a pass because you had the injuries. But year 3, what can you do with it? Me and Maul feel like you are a talented player. I saw it in LSU. We saw it your rookie year. Now you got to do it this year. Once again, this team's gonna go as far as you can take them. So, it's got to be Jaden Daniels. And then same thing, Jackson Dart. Are you the one? Because I tell you this, Maul. If he ain't, John Harbaugh didn't draft him.
That's true.
And that's true. We all know what next 2027 draft represents, the QB draft. So John Harbaugh might be like,
no,
man, I ain't drafted this dude. He's kind of, shoved in my face, so I might have to get my quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. So I think all 4 quarterbacks are the ones that they got to prove something.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. For the quarterbacks, I got George Pickens because of the fact that we saw what his impact was when he first got established to this team and the heights and levels that they took this offense to when he got there. Now with the whole contract situation, I think he's been very, very mature in how he's handled everything. He signed a little tag You know, obviously he can be a free agent next year. There's going to be a lot for him to prove because he wants that big deal. I think he wants to be the number one somewhere, whether it's with the Dallas. Obviously, you do got CeeDee Lamb, but he wants number one money. He wants number one money no matter where it's coming from. So it's going to be a big year for him. And then if he has a big year, I think this offense will continue to be one of the best offenses in the NFL. For the Giants, this is another two-parter for me. It's Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart. I agree with you with Jackson Dart. Like, there's a lot of QB talent coming out next year. There could be a lot of QB free agents next year that could be potentially open. So this is a big year for Jackson Dart. Again, it comes back to maturity with him. You know, you are the CEO of this franchise. So you got to start acting like it with some of the decisions it's been. But Abdul Carter, you know, they did draft Arvell Reese. You didn't have the best year last year. So I think there's a lot to prove with him. If Abdul Carter can prove he can be the player that we thought he can be, this defense is going to take leaps and bounds in what they can have. With the Eagles, I think it's Mekhi Lemon. I agree with you with Jalen Hurts, but I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go with Mekhi Lemon because you are replacing A.J. Brown, who is one of the most important pieces to that offense. And you got a lot that you got to bring to the table, especially on this team, because there is expectations of getting back to the Super Bowl. No matter how you view it, this team has expectations to make it to the Super Bowl. So Mekhi Lemon is going to have to be a very big proponent. He's an ultra talented kid, but it's a lot of pressure on a rookie to come in. So I think he is one of the must-prove players. And then Commanders, I think it's easy. It's Jaden Daniels' health. He has to prove he can stay healthy. I agree with you. He has to also show that he can do what he did in his first year. I don't really have so much questions on that because I just think he's an ultra talented kid and he's proven everywhere he goes that he can do that. But health-wise, his body type, he's a very skinny quarterback. He's not the biggest quarterback in the world. He does like to run. And I know the Commanders have PTSD, especially with the whole Robert Griffin III situation. So they don't want that same situation happening to Jaden Daniels. RG3 was the same. He wasn't the biggest built, but he had ultra talent, big arm. Jaden Daniels and RG3 are pretty similar quarterbacks when you really thinking about it. So we just don't want them to have similar careers. So those are some of my must-pro players for it.
All right, now let's go with their ceiling of each team. I'm gonna start with the Cowboys. I'm gonna say it. This is the first time I feel like this team could win the Super Bowl because I think that the added additions to that defensive line, to this defense period, in the draft and in free agency, I think that offensively they're already there as far as Super Bowl tenders. You know, we already know the players on that side. Even Javonte Williams had a bounce back season at the running back position. I think Dak had a resurgence too last year. So if they can stay relatively healthy, I think that, and they make the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if we looked up in Dallas as one of the better teams in the NFC East or in the NFC period. So I think their ceiling is Super Bowl contender. The Eagles, I'm going to say playoff contender because there are questions with another OC. If this OC and Jalen Hurts can mesh, then I think they could be Super Bowl contenders. But right now, I think the team is too well constructed from Howie Roseman to be anything less than a playoff contender for sure. The Commanders, I think they could be a playoff team, but, you know, like I said, everything got to go well with the Washington Commanders for me. But I think their ceiling is their playoff team. And I feel the same way about the Giants. They could be a playoff team, but Jackson Dart is going to have to show that he can stay healthy and he could keep, he could be the guy, you know what I'm saying, the franchise quarterback for this Giants team. So I got Super Bowl, playoff contender, playoff team.
For sure. With the Cowboys, I agree with you. I got Super Bowl contender team. I really like the way this team is constructed. To me, it just all comes back to coaching, and if they can just maintain what they can maintain. You know what I mean? Like, you have the defensive pieces. That I like that defensive line. You got one of the best young safeties, I think, in Caleb Downs, who's already kind of shown a little bit in training camp what he can do. You got probably one of the best wide receiving cores. I like the linebacker position. I like the offensive line. Yeah, man, it's the Cowboys. I think it could be Super Bowl contenders. With the Giants, I I think ceiling wild card if everything goes correctly. I think maybe wild card, like the 7th seed in a sense. You know what I mean? If everything goes correct, because I think you have a lot of great young talent, but we got to see if Malik Neighbors can come back. You got to see how Cam Scatterboo responds coming off the ankle injury. You got to see how Jackson Dart responds with everything going on. Abdul Carter. I think you got a lot of great young pieces on the defensive side. Can it mesh? Can John Harbaugh get the job done? I think that. With the Eagles, I got top 3 team in the NFC Super Bowl contender style. Like at the end of the day, this team is still constructed really well. This defense can be one of the best defenses in the league. I think it can compete with the Texans. I think it can compete with the Seattle Seahawks and the Rams and stuff like that. If everything goes right, you still have a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You still have a Super Bowl head coach, no matter how we feel. You still have some top tier running backs with Saquon and Bigsby. You still got Devontae Smith. If Mekhi Lemon can be who we think he can be, he can kind of supplement some of the stuff that AJ Brown did. Your offensive line is still your offensive line. So top 3 for sure. With the Commanders, if they don't get a second receiver, I'm gonna say divisional round could be their peak. If they do get a decent second receiver, I think it could be NFC Championship if everything goes correctly. But as currently constructed, I'm gonna go with divisional round for them.
And then the flooring for each team, the Cowboys, I got fringe playoff team, another mediocre season. They go 9-8, you know, 8-9, whatever. And they just miss the playoffs, or they get in because the division is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the Eagles, I can see that it could be a disaster and they're out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni has a bad, season, and the team falls apart. Jalen Hurts doesn't mesh well with the OC again, and it just goes to hell. And Saquon may, this might be the year where stuff falls off. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Commanders, same thing. Out of playoffs, Dan Quinn gets fired, at the end of the season, and things just don't go right. And then with the Giants, same thing. Out of playoffs, Jackson Dart isn't the guy. He can't, John Harbaugh kind of be conservative, and Giants fans are questioning John Harbaugh. He's the right hire, and things just don't go well with the Giants either. So I got fringe playoff and the rest of them out of the playoffs.
Yeah. For the Cowboys, I'm agree with you. I got just missed the playoffs, like 8 or 9 seed. I think that's the lowest they can go. Maybe even a position where they kind of, I agree with you, where, maybe the NFC isn't as good as we thought, and they just kind of slide in there and be like the 7th seed. But I think no lower than like the 9th seed. I think this team is just too talented. I think it's going to be like a lot of mental errors if they don't make it to the playoffs. With the Giants, Flores top 5 pick. like if Jackson Dart doesn't do well, this team is just going to be bad. If Malik Neighbors can't get on the field, this offense is going to be just bad, because then you can stack the box. That running game isn't going to do anything. That defense is just, they're going to get worn down, and then they're just going to lose games. For the Eagles, I think the floor could be a top 10 pick. They could just go completely bad. They get a top 10 pick, and that's when we talk about Jalen Hurts not being there, Nick Sirianni's coach job, the offensive coordinator losing his job because he just didn't get stuff. I think it could go completely terrible. I think they have the biggest influx out of any of these teams with the Eagles, where they can be either one of the best teams or they can be downright just awful. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then with the Commanders, top 10 pick. You know what I mean? I think that's their floor. Things just don't go right. Injuries happen. Stuff just don't click. You already got Dan Quinn on the hot seat, as you said. More questions about Jaden Daniels and his health, and he just doesn't stay consistently healthy. Then I think that's when they get a top 10 pick, and I think that's when they might start having conversations of, is Jaden Daniels the future? Do we go ahead with all this QB talent that's coming out in this draft? Do we go ahead and just make that move? So.
Yeah, for sure. All right. All right, let's talk a little WNBA, man. We know over the weekend we had the All-Star game. And we know that let's see, what I do with it. Yeah, that's right. Give me a second, people. So, Team Spoon defeated Team Coop in Chicago. John Quayle Jones earned MVP honors after a dominant performance. Caitlin Clark, she had like 20-something points. I think Asia Wilson had like 11 points. I know Dominique Malonga, she had a dunk in the game, an assist from Angel Reese. And then over the weekend, Ozzie Fudd became the first rookie ever to win the WNBA three-point shootout. I think who was the one? What team won the what's the name? The
what?
three. The what do they call it? Like the shooting stars, where they have like 2 players on one team, and I think it have
I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure who won that. I'm not really sure.
I forgot who won that one, but yeah, you know, the All-Star weekend was a pretty good All-Star weekend. It was a success for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of viewership and one of the more viewed WNBA All-Star games in history. So, what are your overall thoughts on that, player?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Bump the game. The most exciting thing for me during this All-Star weekend was DeJounte Carrington coming out saying that Melissa Smith cheated on her with Deja Kelly and Aaliyah Knott. That shit had me going. I was like, God damn, Melissa, your roster is elite, nigga. Yo, I gotta get like, yo, shit. You got DeJounte, you got Dejanay, you got Deja, and then you also got Aaliyah Knott. Like, bro, that is the ultimate 3. That is the ultimate 3. That is like you having that's like you had the glove with all the stones on that motherfucker. That shit is crazy. Like dog, like Melissa Smith she need a Hall of Fame jersey, bro. She need the Hall of Fame jersey. Bro, that is the ultimate 3. What 3 could be better than those 3?
I mean, that's up there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm telling you, bro. That was the highlight of my weekend. But overall, man, it was cool. It was cool. I thought Coachy Plum said it correctly. It was an All-Star game that was, you know, on some. It was whatever. You know what I mean? They weren't really playing hard. I even tweeted it that I think I would have like a dunk or something like that, the one-legged dunk. I was like, bro, we got to stop overhyping the Kareem one-legged dunks in the WNBA. We've seen this many of times before. I'm not gonna get Malonga, excuse me. I'm not gonna get hyped for that shit no more. I'm sorry. I've seen it so many times with Candace Parker, Lisa Leslie. Like, I'm gonna get excited when shorties start doing windmill dunks. Like, can we upgrade to the windmill? Like, I support women's sports all the time, but I'm not gonna sit here and go, "Oh my God, we just saw women do a one-legged dunk." Nah. We've seen that before, cuz. Like, so let's start doing some windmills or some reverse dunks. You know what I mean? Let's do something else. Like, hell, 2-hand for all I know, not the one. Like, we ain't gonna do that no more. Like, come on, man. Let's upgrade the shit. But overall, man, I think the most exciting part about the All-Star weekend to me was just you seeing all the back end stuff. Like, you had the stud buds and them doing their streams and stuff like that. You got to see all the ladies in their, you know, just in their own realm with each other mingling. I thought that was great to see. I thought it was also great seeing kind of like you kind of start getting the whole backstory between Bam and Asia's relationship and all that type of stuff. I thought that was great. Seeing how, you know, how their relationship kind of started during the Olympics and the growth of their relationship and the bond that they have. I thought that was a great thing to see. I thought it was also great to see my president, Barack Obama, visiting the ladies and, you know, showing them love. And even though how much hate I give Caitlin Clark, I thought it was a great thing he said to her, like, you know, keep the light, you know what I mean? You know, I know there's a lot of stuff going on with that, which I got a lot of stuff to say about her and that Fever team. But I thought overall, I think the best part of that All-Star break was just kind of seeing all the back ends of all the WNBA players and them enjoying themselves in their own limelight and having fun with each other. I thought that was probably the best thing. So shout out to the Stud Buds for allowing that capability. And obviously the backstory with Asian and Bam, I thought that was really cool to see Black love. You know, love is still out there. You know what I mean? Trust me, like our relationship shit is trash right now. So it's good to see Black love out there. You know what I mean? It's good to see that love still exists in this world.
Yeah. even though, like we said, we have a lot of flack for Caitlin Clark. It was cool to see the stud buds and her have a moment where she gave them some shoes, and you know what I'm saying, they was cool, you know what I'm saying, and showed love, you know what I'm saying. So that was a dope moment. It was dope to see Olivia Miles. She kind of fanned out seeing Keke Palmer, and she was nervous to meet her, and you know, one of the stud buds introduced her to Keke Palmer and stuff like that. So that was a good one. It was even funny on the press conference when Olivia Miles told what age when she was born, and Asia Wilson was like, "Geez," she was like, "Ain't you 27?"
Yeah.
29.
Now, yeah. That shit was funny too. Asia's a character, bro.
She's funny. But no, it was just like you said. The behind the scenes was more of the story because it's good to see the girls have camaraderie and come together and just have fun. You know,
or drama, because that Dejanay shit, boy. Yo, Nalissa, yo, you the real MVP, dog. Sorry, Asia.
I was surprised by the Deja Kelly. Because she was dating an old boy from North Carolina.
I was surprised too. I was like, damn, all y'all.
I don't know Aaliyah Nye's back history, but
I don't know. But I was shocked, especially in the manner that it came out. She just threw it on the thread, like, oh, I'm like, God damn, where'd this shit come from? I know Dejanay and Jackie Young, you know, I know they got their little thing going on. I thought that was a little cute, you know, little scenes with them in the hotel room where she was grabbing the shorts and, you know, being with her boo and stuff like that.
That's what I was saying. Ain't she with Jackie Young now?
Yeah, she with Jackie Young now. So I don't know how Jackie Young felt about the tech. I think Jackie Young just running through motherfuckers at this point. I think Jackie Young cares. I don't think she cared, but I think she just running through shit. And then another thing, like, I think there's something going on with Paige because there ain't no way she's staying loyal to Ozzy Fudd, bro. There's no way. Bro, don't do
that to me.
Nah, I'm just saying, man. I'm not throwing anything out there. I don't know. This is just me observing, but like some of the interactions with her and certain other WNBA players, a little bit too, you know, cozy at times. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't know what's going on. You know, hopefully everything's all love over there. But I think at the end of the day, man, it's just like I feel like the WNBA is just a big love and hip hop story, man. It's a lot of menages, man. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of. I would love to be behind the scenes of the WNBA and feel that shit because I'm just sure it's a lot of shit going on. Whether it's like, you know, sex, you know, all that shit. You know what I mean? Basketball. There's a lot of shit going on behind them scenes. But I'm being honest with you, dog. We see it, man. They don't even care.
You know what? I'm surprised that nobody has pitched a reality show to any of these girls.
We should do it. We should start our own production. Like, yo, let's do this. Let's do this reality. I would love because even with like I started watching because I didn't get a chance. I started watching the starting five. I'm pretty mad that they didn't renew that with the NBA players and stuff like. I would love to see a WNBA version of that. I really would. I would love to see one with like you know stud buds. I would love to see one with Asia. I would love to see one with Dejanay. I would love to see. I would honestly, even though I'm not a fan of her, I would love to see one with Caitlin Clark. I would love to see what her behind the scenes is because the way she puts herself out there, I do not like. But I think there's got to be more layers to this girl because she does seem to get along with a lot of these other girls in the WNBA. They love her, but I would love to know because what I see on the court and what I see, I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna sit here and hide it. And the things with her fan base, which I'm not gonna put her on, but I feel like there are certain things where I get frustrated with her is that I feel like she can put a stop to some of the shit with her fan base because her fan base is so fucking MAGA, but she don't give me MAGA vibes with the way she interacts with other players of other ethnicities. Like Sophie, that's different. I think Sophie's just who she is, and I think she portrays who she is, and I think she's the most mid motherfucker of all time in celebrityism in the WNBA. I don't think she should get promoted at all. But I think there's another layer with Caitlin where I think I potentially could like her, but she just doesn't allow herself to be that way, especially on the court and just the stuff she allows to just let her fan base get away with. And I get it. Not all of that is under her control, but she can nip some of that shit in the bud by at least saying certain things, doing certain things. That's my frustration level with her. But I would love to see one with her, with Caitlin Clark. I would love to see one with Olivia Miles. I think she has a really good personality. Paige. Sonya and those girls over in the Mystics. I know there's a lot of personalities over there. Definitely Nalissa Smith. I need to see that one for sure. Because her shit need to be on VH1 ASAP. I need that one on VH1 ASAP. But shout out to all the ladies, man. Shout out to y'all. I'm looking forward to the second half of the season. Shout out to Nafisa Collier for coming back. I thought that was dope. Like Minnesota's gonna be a problem. They're gonna be a problem. Just give Olivia Miles. Honestly, Olivia Miles should easily be in the MVP conversations as well. I don't know how it's gonna go with Nafisa coming back. I think some of that could die down a little bit, but she's easily gonna be the rookie of the year. Easily.
Yeah, for sure. So. What's your overall thoughts with the second half of the season?
I'm be very curious to see. Obviously, I'm gonna start with my aces. I'm be very curious to see. They had a couple bad losses here. But again, I kind of had this feeling that the aces were just gonna have their ups and downs, and I think it's gonna tell us a lot how they go about it in the second half of the year. I'm gonna be very curious to see kind of like the improvement of the Dream, the Mystics. Awa, I think Awa has been playing pretty damn good as well. I would love to see the extensiveness of her growth going into the second half of the year as well. Paige and Ozzy, I think Ozzy's becoming more in control of what she is in the WNBA. She's looked very much a lot better compared to what she did earlier in the season. And, the Paige and Dallas team, see how they go. But overall, man, I think for me personally, the biggest watches for me is definitely going to be the Aces, definitely going to be Minnesota. And I'm actually having fun watching that Mystics team. I really enjoy watching that Mystics team. I'm really a fan of those ladies as well. So it's gonna be interesting second half, man. But I need my Aces to let's lock in. Let's lock in, ladies. It's time to lock in, especially with all the noise around us getting rid of Kennedy Carter and some of that noise too. And honestly, the Fever too. I ain't gonna lie, the Fever have been playing pretty damn good as well. They blew us out here, but we'll see. Again, I'm a Fever hater, but I want them to lose every fucking time, bro. I can't do it no more.
You want to get your Caitlin Clark thought though?
I'd rather get Sophie off. I'm gonna let Caitlin slide this time. I'll leave Caitlin for another day. I said enough about her. But Sophie, I think Sophie Cunningham, again, as I said, I think she's the most overrated mid player. I think some of the comments that she's made, even in the transgender aspect, I don't know what this whole transgender thing is with people having this whole ideology that transgenders are taking over women's sports when statistically that's not proven. You can look it up. It's just not proven. And it's a very, 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 very small percentage. And even if they do, there's no correlation of them dominating said sport from women, making them lose leagues and all that. It's not like they're fighting each other. It's mainly like swimming, stuff like that. You know what I mean? You can look it up. I just don't understand where that comment's made, and she's making herself more and more into the MAGA personality of the WNBA. She knows who she wants to promote herself to, and she has every right to do that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of her. She's a mid talent on the court. She's mid look wise. I don't understand the infatuation of the shit. Like, she promotes protecting women, but then again, no offense to Dana White, she goes on Dana White, who was on video slapping his wife. So, you know what I mean? She's out, it just makes no sense to me. Or she supports a president that has literally demeaned women every chance he gets by either saying grab him by the pussy. You got the whole Epstein file situation. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on. Like, you're just contradicting yourself and you're making yourself look even more stupid. But again, you have a fan base that you want to do. That's cool. You have your limelight and shine. But if shit starts to change and it doesn't go the way said party wants to go, it's not going to look very favorable to you. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be interesting the second half of the season. Who's going to take over? Who's going to emerge? Like you said, the Lynx look scary now that Nafisha is back. They was already scary without her. Now you add her to the mix, and she was already an MVP candidate last year. We both feel like when she's healthy, she's probably the second best player behind Asia Wilson. So if she can get back into rare form with an Olivia Miles, Courtney Williams, and the rest of those players on that squad, that Lynx team could be a scary team and a formidable opponent for anybody. You know what I'm saying? The Aces, like you said, you know, they've had their. It's either the Aces blow somebody out or they get blown out.
No, it's true. It's true. I don't.
There's no in between with them. Maybe
I think it's a boredom with them, man. I think the regular season just does nothing for them, man. I do want to bring this up though. What were your thoughts on the whole Angel Reese and Sandy Brandalo situation? Where I don't know if you saw it, where she called her an protected species, and a lot of people, you didn't see that. Yeah, she called her. It was like they played each other, and she made comments that Angel Reese was a protected species, and a lot of people affiliated that to racism and just just her.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Huh?
Yeah. Like Angel, she ended up apologizing. The head coach. She used to be the head coach of the Liberty. She's the head coach of Tempo now. Right. She did apologize to Angel Reese, and Angel Reese did accept her apology and stuff like that. But it's just another situation of, because we have this whole situation where you have a lot of NBA players, especially Black WNBA players, who've come out speaking up about the racism that has been, again, perpetually worse as the season has gone on. And again, we all know what fan base is majorly coming from. But with the Sandy thing, what's your kind of overall thoughts with how the WNBA should handle these situations? Especially with the players have been speaking out more and more about the racism that they have been attributed to. We saw the thing with Chelsea Gray where somebody, said some, demeaning, nasty things to her. And we obviously know what Angel Reese has gone through and some things with Asia Wilson and all that stuff like that. What are your kind of thoughts with the whole situation?
I just think, man, they got to find ways to protect these women, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to booster up security. If they got to do something, man, because we don't want nothing tragic, because at the end of the day, they are women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, I know they're athletes. They're larger than life athletes, and we respect them for that. But still, we got to protect our women. And they're going to get it probably a little worse than men, because men, they can, for the most part, protect themselves. Ain't too many people gonna walk up on an NBA player. Although I can argue a lot of y'all shouldn't walk up on no WNBA player too, because they're probably bigger and stronger than you. So, but still, we gotta find ways to protect the women. We can't control too much of what they say on social media, and some of the hate stuff that comes off of that. That's gonna come with the territory. But anything like anything outside of that realm where you're gonna get instances of people stalking and things of that nature. Yeah, we got to protect the women, man, and they got to booster up security at the arenas or whatever. They got to find ways to protect the women in this sport, man.
Yeah, like I think the dialect around this and some of the things that I've seen around this whole situation has really pissed me off. Because you got a lot of white folks, you even got certain Black folks that have been kind of saying that, a lot of these women are just kind of using this as an excuse. And I don't want to go. I really tried not to talk about Caitlin Clark, but it has to go into this situation because you have a lot of these people who like to comment on this situation about how, the WNBA is not protecting Caitlin Clark, that a lot of these players hate Caitlin Clark and all this type of situation. You've had Stephen A. Smith come out again stating the fact that you had the whole situation between her and what's her name from the Phoenix team, Alyssa Thomas, where she landed on her and stuff like that, and she ended up getting suspended for it. I think people need to understand that when it comes to racism in this country, I don't understand why people want to run away from the history of this country and what it's been about. I don't understand why people want to kind of erase history and kind of belittle the sensitivity that Black people have towards situations like that. And it especially sucks when you see fellow Black people kind of use that, and they kind of say that Black people use that as kind of like a crutch to kind of, be sympathizers and all that stuff like that. I just feel like a lot of people have lost their ways. I think a lot of people have lost their ways these last couple of years in understanding the impact of what is happening in cultures. Like it kind of makes no sense how every other culture can be sensitive to their plight and what they've been through, but Black people got to get over whatever they've been through that we're still going through today. You know, we see situations like Nola Wells. We still see young Black kids getting hanged in trees. You just had the young lady, I think, over I think South Carolina or something like that, where she was found hanging on a tree in front of a church. Like, what are we talking about? We're still living in it today. We see these athletes in the NBA, WNBA, soccer, racism still exists. You know, I've had friends who told me that racism don't exist. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? What are we talking about? You can't be oblivious. We see it every day. We see representation of it every day. And for people to be like, Black people should get over it. I'm like, no, we should never get over it. We should always keep fighting about eliminating racism, because at the end of the day, it should never be about skin color. It should never be about the way you look. It shouldn't be matter if you're Black, Jewish, Indian, white. It shouldn't matter. We all trying to live our lives. We're trying to take care of our families, make money, put food on our table, and be healthy and live as long as we can and have fun at life. Like, when you got to start resorting to, you know, demeaning people based on their culture, their religion, their sexuality, their race, you are the one that is the cowardness. You are the one that is the small person. You are the one that is small-minded. You are the one that does not want to grow. You are the one that hates what America really is, what it needs to be, which is this melting pot of different personalities, different races, different cultures that makes this place be great in what it was. The representation of the United States is what all other countries wanted to be like. But now we have an era in which people have forgotten what real America is. And it's becoming more frustrating. It's become more saddening. It's become more making me more angry and me wanting to speak out more, because situations like that is just dumb and idiotic. What are we doing? That's not the growth of society. That is the demeaning. That is the displacement. That is the center of society. It's minimalizing what we can be. And these ladies are going through it every day. Mm-hmm. And we have fans of Caitlin Clark, and we have certain people that like to, you know, just woe is me to this lady who has been nothing but pampered her whole entire career as a basketball player. We've had other coaches who have literally stated that she has a lot to work on personality-wise. She needs to be a better teammate, all this. But just because a player has played hard against Caitlin Clark, we got to call her everything in the name of the book. They need to kiss the hand. I'm like, y'all never said that about Asia. Asia Wilson was helping this league grow. You never said that about Cynthia Cooper. She helped that league grow. Lisa Leslie, like Cheryl Swoops, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird. Like, what are we talking about? Y'all never said anything. Why her? Why just her? Why she's no better than Sue Bird. She's no better than Dan. We've seen everything that she's done. Okay, it's cool. She shoots 30-foot footers. Diana Taurasi's been doing that. Kelsey Plum's been doing that. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? And it's just the culmination of everything where this WNBA, I think they lost the vision. Like, they lost the vision of this league, because we keep talking about everything besides the way these women are playing. And they're playing very well. Olivia Miles is really like Kyrie Irving in the female body. like she plays better than certain dudes. And I know that may sound like demeaning, but it's not. I'm literally telling you that there are some very talented women in this fucking league that should get way more respected than certain players that you put a lot more pride on. And for a lot of these top commentators that continuously just try to beat in our face that Caitlin Clark is the saving grace of the WNBA never needed saving, in a sense. I get it. There were certain aspects of the behind the business where they weren't making the money, and Caitlin Clark helped build that up. But there are other players that have helped build that. Angel Reese has helped build that up. There are a lot of players that have helped build this league up. It's not just Caitlin Clark. It's not. And it all comes back to the climate in today's world and stuff like that. And I just think people need to wake up, man. Wake up. appreciate the talent that's before you. You know what I mean? God damn.
I mean, unfortunately, Ma, I just think that when it comes to Caitlin Clark, a lot of her fan base is not WNBA fans. They're Caitlin Clark fans.
They're not.
The only thing they see on their court is Caitlin Clark, and they think that she's the only one that matters, and the only thing
I think that too, but I want to say the words, but I don't want to say the words. I think you know what I mean. I think it's just not just Caitlin Clark; it's just who she represents, and that's another thing that frustrates me with Caitlin Clark, because I think deep down she don't even represent with them. I don't think she does, but she does nothing to kind of like distance herself away from that. Maybe it's because she wants to make those dollars. Maybe.
Or maybe the PR team is telling her not to say anything.
But it becomes a point in time where it's just like, dog, right is right and wrong is wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. She may be saying stuff in the back, but it gets to a point in time where she needs to step up and say stuff publicly to a degree. It's just like, dog, I don't vibe to that. And maybe she has, maybe she has. I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that. It's not like I fucking like eat, breathe, and sleep Caitlin Clark and shit. I don't. You know what I mean? I only respond to shit that I fucking see. But it gets to a point where it's like, dog, like, when you gonna speak up? Because you know what's right. And I feel like deep down, she's just not that person. I really believe that. I just think on the court, she could be a fucking asshole. And I think she could be a bad teammate. But I think overall, in a sense, why I think she probably is a really good person. She probably is a really good person, because it seems like everybody in the WNBA, whether they're black, white, Mexican, whatever the case, they love her. They love her. You know what I mean? And they know her better than me. So I'm going to go buy off their vibes. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these women are very, very pro-black. They love their black culture. I don't think they will fuck with somebody who wasn't being a great cause to said culture. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, we expect the second half of the season to be good. We'll see what happens, man.
What do you think the Aces end up? Do you think they end up being a top seed? Do you think they still struggle?
No, I think they come out with game. I think they know the severity of the second half. I think they got through the first half of the season. I think starting tomorrow, because they play tomorrow, I think they're gonna get lock in. I trust Becky Hammond to be like, all right, y'all, we gotta lock in. We gotta try to get one of them top seeds, and the links are right there. We've already beat them this year without Nafisha Collier. Now Nafisha's here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we gotta watch out, but not just them. Golden State's in second place right now. They're a really good coach team. We know why, because they got one of the Aces old assistant coaches. So Golden State was good last year. So
yeah, they're good. They're
Gabby Williams is a beast. You know what I'm saying? They got some other players on their team. Atlanta Dream, they're right there. Dallas is playing really good. So there's some good teams, man. And Aces can't fall to the wayside, man. They can't get lax. They can't get too lax. You know what I'm saying? They got to turn it up now, second half of the season. So because these playoffs are going to be intense this year. So.
Nah, it's going to be, man. Hey, yo, and Sky, free my girl Skylar, bro. Free my girl Skylar.
I think
let her go to a better team.
I think she gets traded.
Please trade her, bro.
But I will say this about them. Hey, Chicago, do everything you can to put some pieces around that Sydney Taylor chick, because she's a baller. That is your future.
Nah, yeah. I think the thing with the Sky is, I think they need to build a better infrastructure for them ladies to be able to prosper. I think Skylar Diggins has aired out a lot of stuff about that franchise that I think Angel Reese had frustrations with, and certain other players have had frustrations with. I know we gave them a lot of credit in what they did during the off season to what they had to go through, but
it ain't looking
it's not going too good right now over there. To be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. I think Skylar gets traded. I wouldn't be surprised if Camila Cardozo gets in some trade talks too, but they definitely need to invest in putting some pieces around that Sydney Taylor girl, because she's a baller for sure. She is the future of that team. So
for sure.
All right, man. Let's do our BetUS Surefire picks, man. All right, man. What you got?
Oh, it's all baseball, because that's all we got, big dog. I'm gonna go Phillies -1.5 against the Marlins. They had the big win last night against the Yankees, huge win. I'm gonna take the Braves 1.5 minus the Mets, and then I'm gonna take the Cardinals +1.5 against the Cubs.
I got the Phillies -1.5 over the Marlins. I'm taking the Cubs over the Cards, and I'm taking the Astros -1.5 over the Angels. You go to any of our social media platforms, you'll see the BetUS link. Go ahead and click on it. Sign up, put all your information, put the promo code JOIN125. You get 125% sign-in bonus plus 10% gamblers insurance. That's 3 risk-free bets on $100 up to $5,000. That means on your first 3 deposits of $100, if you lose, you keep your money. So you can win some money or you can keep your money on your first 3 deposits. Go over there, sign up. Tell them Cris Style Mal sent you. And that does it for I Bet US Surefire picks. All right, Mom. Back to the NFC East. We're gonna do the lightning round. And in this one, we give our MVP of the division, our offensive player of the division, defensive player of the division, breakout player of the division, rookie of the division, biggest bust potential of the candidate of the division, and coach under pressure.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go first.
All right, for sure. You want to do them all? Or you want to do one by one?
Just go ahead and run through them.
All right. So for my MVP, I got Dak Prescott. I just think Dak Prescott and the weapons that he does have, and kind of just like our overall feel with this Dallas Cowboys team, I think they have a lot of promise. And if they live up to potential, I think I think Dak Prescott should easily be in the MVP conversation. I think he'll be the best player in this division. Offensive player for this division, I'm gonna go with George Pickens. I'm gonna pair him up with Dak Prescott. And don't get me wrong, I love CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb could be in this spot too, but I just think with George Pickens and his contract situation, he's going to be ultra focused to make sure he gets that ultimate deal that he wants. And again, he's been very mature through this whole process. He's signed the tag early. Assuming he's going to be in camp. So I think he will be that. Defensive player, I'm gonna go with Brian Burns. Brian Burns had an amazing year last year. He really did. I think he continues with that momentum as long as he stays healthy, and especially with all those other pieces come together as well. I think Brian Burns could have another great year. Breakout player, I know we talked a lot of mess about the Giants, but I think Isaiah Likely and him having the potential to be the #1 tight end finally. And we all, I think me and you have been a big fans of Isaiah Likely and the potential that he can be. Especially in this offense with John Harbaugh and what I think he'll do. He loves his tight ends. I think Isaiah Likely can be that. So, rookie, I think it's easy for me personally. I'm gonna go with Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs is probably the best rookie that came from the draft in this division. I'm gonna go with Caleb Downs. Bust, I'm gonna go with Devontae Smith, man. Him being the #1 option, because if you really look at the stats with Devontae Smith when AJ Brown was not gone, you had 3 receptions for 52 yards, 6 receptions for 84 yards, no TDs, 7 receptions for 79 yards, no TDs. I think overall he only had about 5 TDs total out of, looks like maybe about 21 games without AJ Brown. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really that great. And then on top of that, let's say Mekhi Lemon doesn't, come around. I just think it could spell bad news for Devontae Smith, especially with his size too. We've seen him get beat up before. I think he could be the biggest bust out of all that. And then coach under pressure, I think it's easy. I think it's Dan Quinn. I think he has the biggest hot seat out of all the coaches currently right now. So.
All right, for sure. All right, I'm with you with the MVP. I got Dak Prescott too. For all the reasons you said, this offense is going to be explosive this year. I think he's going to put the numbers up, and I think he's going to be the more statistically proven quarterback in this division. I'm gonna go with Old Faithful because I think they're going to have to rely on him a lot. Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon has a bounce back season. I know last year he was dealing with injuries and things of that nature. I do think that 2,000-yard season kind of put a toll on his body too, but I think he has a bounce back season. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley. Defensive player of the division, I'm going to go with Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter had kind of took a step back last year. We had the injuries and the situation with the Dak Prescott thing where he got suspended, but I think he understands the assignment. This is a paid season. This is I gotta get paid season, even with the Eagles or with somebody else. He wants to get paid. He saw his partner Jordan Davis get paid. He wants to get some money to it, and he can get a big payday if he goes out there and puts up a great statistical season, double-digit sacks. Just being a force that we think Jalen Carter can beat. So
Totally agree.
I'm with you with the breakout player. I got Isaiah Likely too. If that man puts up any 900 to 1,000 yards and he's a integral piece, maybe he's the second receiver in this offense with Malik Neighbors.
True.
Then you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think he'll be the breakout, and we'll be looking at Isaiah Likely as one of the top tight ends in this league. So, rookie of this division, I went with Mekhi Lemon because of the loss of AJ Brown. I think he's going to have to be a reliable source because I think teams are going to try to take Devontae Smith away. So Mekhi Lemon over the middle of the field, being in the slot, I think that there's somebody that's going to get a lot of touches in this offense. Biggest bust candidate, Jackson Dart. It could either go well or it can go down. And like I said, 2027, John Harbaugh is looking for his quarterback. So we're going to see. And then the coach most under pressure, I got Dan Quinn. I think if things don't go right with the Commanders, I think he's the most likely to get fired this offseason, and then the Commanders are looking for somebody else. So,
yep.
All righty. All right, it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Maul's Random News. It is now time for Maul's Random News.
Yeah, man. It's been a long time, man. We ain't done this in a long time, man. Everybody's favorite segment of the show, Chris's favorite segment of the show, because we like to hear Chris's opinions about certain topics, stuff that don't normally make it to the main docket, but they do make it on Random News. So, sir, are you ready for this Random News this week?
Yeah, of course.
All right, man. First up, we have Tony Romo. Tony Romo made the news. TMZ. He got arrested for obviously being impaired while driving. What are your thoughts with this? Do you think this will affect his job with CBS, or do you think this will just be a slap on the wrist?
It's gonna be a slap on the wrist. I just want to know, when the police pulled him over, when they said, "Sir, you were intoxicated," did he say, "I don't know"? See, I don't know. Did he say that? That's all I want to know. Tony, did you say that?
I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows? I'm sure that video will come out one day.
As long as he ain't doing Mark Sanchez stuff, he fine.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez shit was crazy. That's crazy. All right, next up, man. Obviously, the World Cup, it finished, man. The champions of the world, Spain, ended up beating Argentina. I know we didn't talk about this, but overall, man, what were your overall thoughts with the World Cup? And then obviously the overall impact it had on America. We saw a lot of stuff with, a lot of people enjoying America's food, America's nightlife and stuff like that. Do you think that helped the perception, especially with everything going on in America? What were your overall thoughts with the whole World Cup appearance in America?
My only overall thoughts, did y'all see my city show out for the World Cup? Okay, Kansas City. Shout out to KC, man. Y'all did y'all 1-2 for the World Cup. Y'all showed why y'all love Sports City. We are a soccer team too. We're not just football. We're not just college basketball. We love our soccer too out there. Shout out to Sporting KC. Shout out to the KC Current. You know what I'm saying? Like they're a good side. Lamar Hunt was a visionary. He saw it before everybody else. He was the one who brought America soccer. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the World Cup, man. It was very interesting. Was I like super invested? No, but you know what I'm saying? I was rooting for my peoples. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Cape Verde, Congo, Senegal, Ghana.
Yeah, shout out to them all, man. And there were some women in there that was. Yeah. Cape Verde was the winner, though. Cape Verde was the winner, though. I need to go, but Venezuela, Ecuador has some.
Shout out to all y'all. But overall, I everybody was invested. I love seeing all the countries being represented that was in it. Did I see some robberies? Argentina. No, man. It was looking kind of fishy for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Messi, but wasn't looking too clean. But overall. Shout out to Spain. They got the dub. You know what I'm saying? They are the World Cup champions. Hey, man, it was a success. I feel like it was a success.
Very, very big success. I do want to say one thing. I did not understand how racist Argentina was.
Whew.
They also have this place called Nigga Burgers. Have you seen that? They got this place called. That shit was crazy. But yeah, I didn't understand the hate that Argentina
was
had.
it, was it Argentina's governor or something like that? She was like, "Yeah, we racist. We don't care."
There's a lot of stuff about Argentina that's super racist. I didn't understand the magnitude of it until somebody really educated me on that. Because obviously, I don't really pay attention to that. I'm I only watch soccer when the World Cup is on. But yeah, I was properly educated on that. But yeah, it was very interesting to see. Next up, man, Madden NFL 27 is coming out here pretty soon in a couple weeks. They announced their 99 club. We got Josh Allen, we got Matthew Stafford, we got Myles Garrett, we got Jamar Chase, we got Trey McBride, and finally we got Jackson Smith and Jigba. So my question to you is, sir, do you agree with said list, and number two, are they missing anybody that should have made the 99 club?
Say that list again.
Here, let me I'll put it up. One second, people. One second. Let's see. Here we go. This is the list. So we got Myles Garrett, got Josh Allen, got Trey McBride, got Jackson Smith and Jigba, got Matthew Stafford, and we got Jamar Chase.
Look, I know he has his issues off the field, but there should be no world where Puka Nacua is not on this list.
Yeah. He should be on that list.
I think he's a 99. Like, but outside of that, even though I have my record, Josh Allen, it is what it is.
Yeah. Or I don't know where your boy was. I didn't see.
I think he's a 93 this year.
93. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
So.
All right. Next up we have obviously they had the Marvel showcase. I believe it was yesterday. They announced
it was all weekend.
It was all weekend. San Diego Comic-Con. They had so some of the news that came out with Marvel Studios, they did announce Ghost Rider. Ryan Gosling will be the star of the new Ghost Rider movie that will come out in 2028. Obviously, you got Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out this week. You got Avengers Endgame September 25th. The whole cast came out. They did release a new trailer for that. Oh no, Endgame is I think it might be like a remake or something. But Doomsday comes out the 18th. You got Avengers Secret Wars. You got comes out this next year, December 17th, 2027. Black Panther 3. They announced a new Black Panther and David Johnson. He will be the new Black Panther. He will be the son of T'Challa. You also have a new X-Men movie that will be coming out. It hasn't come out with a release date at all. But overall, man, what were your overall thoughts with all the announcements from Marvel?
I loved them. You know what I'm saying? I think Ryan Gosling, he's a good actor. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll do fine with the Ghost Rider character. What's the gentleman's name as being Black Panther?
David Johnson. He was in Sinners. I believe he's the gentleman that was singing, I believe.
No. He's the dude that was in Alien Romulus.
Alien Romulus. My bad.
He was the android. He was the android.
Yeah,
he played that role really, really good.
Yeah.
I didn't see The Long Walk, but I heard it was a pretty solid movie. I know he was in that too. But I'm fine with him being the new Black Panther. We'll see what he could do with it. I know everybody wanted your boy Damon Idris, but the little behind the scene thing that he was never in consideration. But I'm excited for Doomsday. Saw the trailer. The trailer was great. There are a lot of great trailers that came out this weekend. So.
Yeah, there was a lot of great trailers. There was also some other news. Marvel boss, the studio Kevin. I always have a hard time pronouncing his last name. Feige. He came out with some comments because everybody's been kind of patiently waiting on a Mahershala Ali Blade movie. Obviously, it's not going to happen. He says he feels like a complete loser and failure after the movie has fizzled out. Obviously, me and you were highly anticipating that movie. Pretty disappointed that come out. What were your thoughts with his expressions about that not coming into fruition?
It's just sad because he even said he feels like a loser that he couldn't come out with a Blade movie, and I don't understand why it was so hard to write a script Like the material is right there. Like
It's pretty easy, yeah.
it's pretty easy. Blade killing vampires. I don't care if you bring a new Deacon Frost or whoever is the new threat. You know what I'm saying? But the story is right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I don't care if you got to call Ryan Coogler and pay him some more money to direct it and write the script. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, I don't understand why out of all the movies shows y'all make, that was the one that y'all had the most problem with. And I think it's the most simplest one to make a write a script for. I think me and Maul, if we put our minds so we can write a nice, decent script for a Blade movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get it, man. And now the only time we're gonna see him is in this Midnight Sun movie or show that they're coming out with, that we got to see a partial of Blade. Like, I don't know. I have my thoughts on it, but I'm gonna keep them to myself for right now. But it's just a mess.
Yeah, no, it is a mess. It is a mess. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that he came out, finally spoke about it, owned up to it. That's all you can really do. It does suck that, for some reason, I think it's probably one of the easier Marvel movies you could have made. Honestly, I don't understand what the toughness about it was, but overall, hopefully, maybe one day, obviously it won't be anytime soon, but hopefully, I think eventually one day they'll hopefully be able to get it right. So. Next up, obviously ESPN, they made some news. They made some layoffs this past week. Some of the notable names that did get laid off from ESPN are Cam Newton, Ryan Clark, Carl Ravitch, he's a big baseball guy, Tom Pelissero, who just recently came over from NFL Network, and they made this whole big spiel that he was going to be the guy taking over for Adam Schefter, which that's kind of weird. Charles Davis, Stephania Bell, David Lloyd, and Andres Hale. What are your thoughts with these layoffs now?
Just the way they went about business of doing it. The way they did Ryan Clark join NFL Live, they text you. Like, you can't call nobody in the office or a phone call. Like, you can't wait till after the show to call them and say, hey, look, doing budget cuts, you didn't make the list. Wow. So I thank you for your contributions, but we're going to have to let you go.
Yeah.
A formal call. We grown people around here, man. I know we understand it's a business, but you can make that phone call and then call Ravitch. Look, I don't sit and watch baseball commentary all day, but this man's been with the company since 1993. Yeah. He coming up on like his 30th anniversary or 35th anniversary, something like that. Yeah. And the way he finds out is a reporter calls him and says, hey, man, are you getting fired? Mm-hmm. You can't even do him justice.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even bring him in the office and say, look, Carl, we appreciate you, everything that you've brought to this company. You're one of our, beginning guys. You started with us. Here's a plaque. Thank you for your service. Here's a care package or something. Like, unfortunately, we got to let you go, but here's a care package and da-da-da-da. No, he got to find out from some reporter who was just doing their job that probably got the word before Carl. It was just like, hey, man, is it true you're getting fired?
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on at ESPN, but one thing it did show me, and then Cam Newton got fired too. One thing it did show me is Pat McAfee running things over there right now.
Yeah.
He is the golden goose over there right now.
Yeah. Yeah, still him and Stephen A.
But not even Stephen A. Because if it was really Stephen A., Ryan Clark wouldn't be fired. Cam Newton wouldn't be gone either. I guarantee you nobody from what's your name staff is going to be gone.
No, they're not touching nobody from Pat McAfee show.
And I can tell you right now, Ryan Clark is more valuable than a few of them dudes over there.
Oh, 100%.
Like, the only people on there that gives any type of true analysis, Darius Butler and maybe AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
The other two jokers that they got over there, like maybe they're writers or they producers or whatever, and they do all the technical stuff. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to like journalism, analyst type stuff, I don't know what Cam Newton, but hey, at least he's more entertaining than the rest of them dudes on there. Like what are we doing? Like it showed me how they really feel about Pat McAfee and how they kind of feel about Stephen A. Smith.
Nah, 100%, 100%. Maybe they're getting burnt out with Stephen A. and some of the antics and stuff like that, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully all those guys, hopefully everybody bounces back up.
And look, and not to cut you off, but Ryan Clark, good thing he built up himself a platform. And even with that situation, also the Outkick, that company, because they're MAGA and they want him gone. That was the rumors that the Outkick company called ESPN and was pretty much like, yo, get him out of here. So, but a good thing that he's built up a platform called The Pivot. Him, Channing Crowder, and Fred. They got their own platform, and it's one of the better podcast platforms out there. So, I think Ryan Clark will be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's beating down his door now to try to hire him, bring him in for some analysts or something like that. So, but shout out to Ryan Clark, shout out to Cam Newton, shout out to everybody who's gotten laid off. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, but hopefully all of y'all can bounce back. Cam Newton, he's got 4th and 1. I think he'll be fine, and he's got this other podcast where he interviews people. So, I think Cam will be fine. So,
yeah, for sure. And then last but not least, man, I could not talk about this with my man here. Obviously, we haven't talked to him in a minute. It's SummerSlam week. So obviously, night 1 on Saturday, we got the Fatal Influence versus Nikki, Brie, and Paige, six women tag team. We also had the Usos and Fatu versus Keys, Knight, and Sikoa for a 6-man tag team. We also have Gunther versus Aldis. I think that's how you say his name.
Nick Aldis, yeah.
Nick Aldis. We also have Liv versus Ayo. Io Sky, excuse me. We have the big Hell in a Cell match with Brock Lesnar and our man Obafemi. And then we have CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, man, for the WWE Championship. And then on night 2, we have Penta versus what's his name? Chad Gable. We got Trick Williams versus Corbin. We got Danhausen versus Dom. We have Finn versus Sam for the WWE Championship. Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship #1 contender. We also have the interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match with Charlotte, Jade, Chelsea, and Tiffany. And then we also have the big heavyweight matchup for the heavyweight championship: Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. So, what are your overall thoughts with SummerSlam this week?
Man, that's my overall thoughts. SummerSlam. A bunch of men,
huh? Not excited about nothing, huh?
Fatal Influence versus Nikki, Brie, and Paige. I'm not the slightest of interest because, yes, Fatal Influence just won the tag team titles. But what are we doing with my girl? What's her name? Tatum, I think that's her name. But yeah, I just don't understand what they're doing. The Bloodline versus Keys, Knight, and Solo Sikoa. We already know what the play is. Solo Sikoa is about to turn on these boys and join back with Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that's going to happen. Now, I will say this, Mo. Gunther versus Nick Aldis. I'm excited for that match. I ain't going to hold you.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all about to see what's up with my man Nick Aldis. He's real. I know he's been a GM and all that stuff, and some of y'all don't know about my man from TNA, and when he was an NWA, he was the NWA champion, TNA champion. My man Nick Aldis get busy in that ring. That's going to be a wrestling savant. So I'm excited for that match. Liv versus Io Sky. It should be cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what direction they're going to go. I'm pretty for sure they're going to play it safe and probably give the belt to Io Sky because ever since Liv Morgan has won that belt, she has not defended it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one time.
Mm-hmm.
They have not given her no push. Hell in the Cell, okay, it's cool, but you know my gripe with the Obafemi thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you have him in the King of the Ring in the first place?
Yeah.
You let him win the King of the Ring just for him to say, I'm going to forego my championship match to face him, Brock Lesnar, in a rubber match. When you could have just had Brock Lesnar in the first match where it was a fatal 4-way, you could have just had Oba get beat up by Brock Lesnar, and we could have had the match that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have had Seth Rollins win the King of the Ring, and now we have a purpose of why he's facing Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Not just they give it to Seth Rollins because he beat Braun Breaker. And then Cody and Punk. If nobody turns heel, specifically Cody, if nobody turns heel in this damn feud, it's a wash.
Yeah.
It's a wash. Penta and Chad could be a very good match. I think Chad should win that match. I think he's earned it. He's in his home city. I think that Penta, he's had a nice little IC reign. I think it's time for him to drop that belt. Trick and Corbin, that should be a solid match. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think Trick's gonna win that match because Trick is just so over right now. So we'll see. Danhausen and Dom Mysterio, that's gonna be one of those. That's the comedy hour. You know, Danhausen is over right now. He's probably gonna curse him and something's gonna happen, and Danhausen's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Finn and Sammy's gonna be interesting. I think Finn is gonna actually win that match because I think they're trying to do right by Finn Balor because he was the first inaugural Raw champion, and in that match he tore his shoulder up and he's been punished for it ever since. So I think they want him to be whoever's the winner out of Cody and CM Punk. I think that's going to be a storyline. Then this interim. Now let's talk about this interim belt. I asked some of my wrestling friends, Rob, shout out to Rob, Marlon, my man Jamel. I asked them what superstar who tears their meniscus, who's a champion, is allowed to keep their championship belt. And they said, hey, we're going to make an interim title because we don't want that said person, Rhea Ripley, to lose the belt.
Oh, that's what happened to Rhea. She tore her ACL.
She tore her meniscus. And so they said, no, we're not going to make her drop it like they do everybody else. They just say, hey, we're going to make an interim belt. And then once they're interim champion and Rhea gets healthy, we'll have a unification belt.
Mm-hmm.
They would do that for literally nobody else. Mm-hmm. I don't even think they do that for Cody. They wouldn't do that for Roman Reigns. They definitely wouldn't do it for Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
Io Scott. They wouldn't do it for nobody. But, we got to protect Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
When they could have just dropped the belt. And then my problem with this match is you put Tiffany Stratton in this match. Tiffany Stratton is your U.S. champion. Why do you have a champion in this match? Why can't she defend her U.S. champion at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Why do y'all? What is the infatuation with Tiffany Stratton? Sorry, Tiffany Stratton's not that good in the ring. She's terrible. She's not good. But they love her because she's blonde hair, blue eyes, and WWE has an affection with that look.
Yeah, they do.
But she's not that good. Jade, she's not going to win. Charlotte, she might win. I don't know. They might give it to Chelsea. I don't know. But I have the least interest in this match. And then Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, it's going to be a good match. Whatever. I think Roman's going to win. I don't think they're going to make him drop the belt yet. And I think he gets over because he's never beat Rollins in a singles match. So I don't think he's going to beat him by himself. I don't think nobody's going to come down. I don't think there's going to, because that's the whole plight with this new reign with Roman Reigns is that he doesn't need help. He goes out there and beat everybody on his own. So I think he beats Seth Rollins on his own. So all in all, it's going to be okay. It's going to be cool, but it's a 2-night thing, but I'm not that excited about it.
So you not go watch it?
I'm gonna watch it, but it's just still kind of like the booking in WWE is not good right now.
Well, it hasn't been good for a while, has it?
TKO is ruining things.
Yeah, well, see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all I got. That's all I got for her.
For sure. All right, man. Let's do our last thing for the NFC East. We'll call this Crystal Ball. We are going to predict some things for the division. We do the final standings, division record, number of playoff teams, a bold prediction, and a surprise prediction. So I'm gonna let you go.
All right. For the standings, I got the Cowboys 1. I just think they're just I think something about this team that has gravitated me more towards them just being the best team in this division, especially with no noise coming from George Pickens. Like he seems like he's been aligned with everything going on. So I like that. I'm gonna have the Commanders too. I think I'm gonna ride with Jaden Daniels being healthy. I think he'll be healthy enough where I think they'll claim the number 2 spot. I got the Eagles 3. I just think there's a lot of questions with this team that still need to be answered. They could easily flip-flop with the Commanders, but I'm gonna put them at 3 for now. And then I got the Giants being the worst team just because of just the immaturity on this team. I don't trust Jackson Dart. I don't trust Cam Scatterboo. Right now I don't trust the health of Malik Neighbors and stuff like that. So I think this offense could have its problems. For the divisional records, I'm gonna go Cowboys 4-2. I'm gonna go Commanders 3-3. I'm gonna go Eagles 3-3. I'm gonna go Giants 2-4, and respectively in that division record. Playoff teams, I'm gonna go 2. I was kind of looking at all the other divisions C, but I'm gonna go with 2. I think the Cowboys and the Commanders do make it. My bold prediction is I got the Cowboys making it to the NFC Championship game. That's my bold prediction. And then the surprise one, I got the Eagles being the sweepstakes at the end of the season for Lamar Jackson.
All right. My final standings, I got Cowboys. Number 1, I do think that they're going to be a really good team this year. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Eagles. I still think they got enough talent on this team to make them number 2 team. I got the Commanders. There's some things I got to see with this Commanders team for me to put them a little higher. And then I'm with you. I got the Giants. I just think that there's way too many questions on that offensive side of the ball for me to and this is John Harbaugh's first year to put his imprint on here. So, it could be an instance where the Giants surprise us, but I'm going to go with them at 4. Division records. So I kind of messed up on this. I just put their full record.
Oh, the full record? Oh, I thought you meant division. So
it probably is division record. So I'm gonna skip that. Number of playoff teams, I put 2. I got the Cowboys and the Eagles because I had the Cowboys going 13-4, and I got the Eagles going 10-7. So
okay.
Bold prediction: Jalen Hurts has an MVP type season.
No. Okay.
Surprise prediction: Jackson Dart gets benched.
Oh no. Interesting. Who's their backup? It's still Jameson. It's still Jameson.
So, all right, that does it for our crystal ball.
For sure.
All right, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man. I think we hit a lot. It's been a while since we've been on, so I think we hit a lot of topics.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Who gets your flowers of the week?
Flowers of the week. I'm gonna give it to 2 people that unfortunately have passed. I'm gonna give one to Hannah Rep, boxer, recently passed away. She was riding her bike. She got hit by a car. She was recently fighting. I forgot who she was fighting. It's for a championship belt. But she unfortunately passed. And then obviously we weren't around, but the whole Nolan Wells situation, I gotta give flowers to him. It's a very sad situation. Young man who was partying out with his friends, ended up going missing on an island and ended up finding his body. I think a couple of days later, still getting more information about that. But I want to send my flowers out to 2 of those families, friends, loved ones, and press everybody in those situations for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna give my flowers to everybody, that's been rocking with us since day one.
Yep.
Saying, we took a little break, but it's good to be back. So I want to just give my flowers to all y'all who tap in with us every week, man. And we're back, and excited for the topics that we're gonna bring up, especially with the football season coming up and college football. We're gonna have some stuff for college football coming up too. So I appreciate y'all. Yeah. So appreciate y'all out there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Who gets your hell no?
Hell nah. Hell nah. I'm gonna keep it light. No, I ain't got no hell no. I'm gonna keep it.
Well, my help now goes to the Nolan Wells situation. That situation is terrible. Those his so-called friends, you know what I'm saying, they know what happened. And this is all a mess. And this continues to show you that there is still racism in this world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what y'all tell me. But on a more lighter note, Buffalo Bills, them alternate jerseys are trash, man.
I ain't even seen him.
Go look it up.
They're that bad. Let me see real quick. Let me see. Bills jerseys. Oh wow, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I don't understand the helmet. I don't understand. Like, the gray ain't bad though. I don't mind the gray, but I don't understand the helmet. What the fuck is that on the helmet?
It's Nickel City alternate uniform.
Man, I don't understand it. If honestly, it wouldn't be bad if they just used the old school Bill helmet, like the all blue with the Buffalo Bill on the side. With the gray, I don't think it would be bad. I don't mind the gray and the blue. I don't mind it. It's that helmet. I don't know what that helmet is supposed to represent. It just looks like a big red streak on the back of the head.
Yeah. I ain't feeling it. Hell no.
I ain't feeling it. I don't know. Change the helmet. That's all I say. Change the helmet. I like the Rams ones. The Rams ones is cool. Yellow joints.
Mm-hmm.
They're cool.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All righty. All right, good people. If you want to donate to the Cris Style Mal podcast, you can donate to our Cash App $Chris Mal podcast. We'll appreciate whatever you donate. Whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use, you could tap in with us and subscribe to us. Also, first-time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, you could jump in the live with us. You could talk about these topics. We want to hear from you. We want to get your opinion, man. You like what we say? Don't like what we say? Hey, man, we just still want to hear from you. Just, talk to us nice. You ain't got to be all nasty about it. Just give your opinions in the comment section or in the live stream, and, we'll be glad to debate with you. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you use, you can follow us at Cris Style Mal. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various things. We will follow you back if you have a question, topic, or if you have a critique or feedback. And we like said question or topic, we will bring it up. We will shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up via DM, emails, or our mentions. All right, good people. Until next week, hope you guys have a good rest of your week. We will be back to give you all the topics, some NBA topics to come up. We're going to do probably the AFC. We're going to do the AFC East next week with the same format. And yeah, man. Until next week, man. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend. Be safe out there. We're not going to do Takeover Wednesdays for right now because of scheduling restrictions right now. But, hopefully we can start it back up, in the near future. But for right now, we're just going to do it this way. So until next week, we are out.
Peace out, y'all. Enjoy y'all week.